So, little jump aside with Jake for a second, since you have a move that requires a little bit of a prologue here. So, you are currently dreaming. You know you're dreaming. You're in sort of an almost lucid dream state, in which you recognize this is a dream, but also aren't really quite far enough into a lucid dream state where you can quite control what you're doing. But rather, you're just sort of letting the dream take you along. Might as well see where it takes you. In this dream, you're walking through the woods. These seem to be the woods around the camp that you've been out in a few times, although you can't really pinpoint it. The woods are quiet, the night's quiet, and you realize that it's a bit too quiet. The normal sounds of the warm summer night are gone, and all you can hear is steady punch of your footsteps. The moon above lights up the passage you were walking on, but around you, the trees are dark, ominous. You feel like there's something there, waiting and watching from the shadow. You look into the flashlight in your hand. You turn it on, shine it towards the darkness. But instead of chasing the shadows away, the shadows surge forward, reaching towards you. You start running, the inky tendrils reaching out from the trees, grabbing at your feet, and still all you can hear is the quickening stomp, stomp, stomp of your feet as you race through the woods. And then your view shifts. You're not running anymore, but you're standing in front of a huge, inky, black column void. The same inky tendrils that were reaching out to you before are now twisting up into the sky, extending upwards, spreading, covering the stars. As the sky disappears, so does the rest of the world, fading into inky blackness, and as you and everything around you are consumed. And then, you wake up. You sit up, restless, panting, as if you had been running, but it was just a dream, just another one of these dreams. The cabin is quiet, but outside you can hear crickets chirping, a bullfrog groan, an owl call. The night sounds normal. You look out the window and you can see the stars, normal and uninterrupted. Just another dream then. Do you do anything before going back to sleep?
Ooh. How recurrent are these dreams?
Pretty vivid one, I'd say. You've had ones before, but probably the most clearest one, recognizing these ones now, but every couple, periodically, not every night, but frequent enough that you've kind of gotten used to them.
Okay, I'm gonna do a little, air martial arts, like if something was to come through the door, I'm just so ready to take it down. Alright, I need to flip like this and I punch. I do a couple crunches, and then, I try and meditate. I'm not good at it. I'm calm my mind, push my energy, and then I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Yeah, you sit up, at attention, ready in case something comes in. There's a brief moment where you hear a bit of like a creak, and you realize that it's just, kid in the cabin, or kid in the bunk next to you, rolling over in his sleep.
Yeah. The karate I practice, by the way, is not good. It's not good. The karate I practice is not good. It's based on no training whatsoever.
It's based on watching karate movies.
It is based on watching karate movies and possibly some anime. There's something that definitely...
Possibly some anime. Definitely from anime.
Yeah. I have a sharpened stick that I keep hidden under my bunk. I'm not allowed to have it. And I check that it's still there. I'm like, good. My really shitty spear is still here. And then
you have something else under your bunk right now that I'll keep a secret for now. But
yeah. I definitely would have also made a sharp stick.
Okay, gotcha.
As someone who had a really scary moment in the woods in real life, who made a sharp stick to protect himself as a camper, I totally have a sharp stick as well for the greater reach.
Alrighty. I like it. Alrighty. I've got a music swap. Would like to go ahead and pull that up.
Every time I have to escape, it messes with my program.
No.
It's okay, it's worth it.
The background music's not imperative.
It is, yes it is, imperative.
I have conditioned all of you that are my players to need music.
I love having background music. It's so
Background
good.
music is the
I have
best.
to, I have to prep the market for Freddy, so that way Freddy can have existence.
The only reason I DM for you guys is so that I can show you my cool music jams.
This is actually the music she works out to when we work out together. Is this right here, the Babbling Brook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, to set the stage now as we enter into the main storyline, it is currently a bright, sunny, clear day at Clearwater's summer camp and outdoor recreation center, or as most of the campers know it, just Camp Clear. It's maybe a week or two into the summer. A little sleepaway camp tucked in the woods. Maybe a couple dozen kids tops. Living in some cabins, enjoying nature near a mountain and a lake. All those typical camp stuff that I could sit here and list, but that would require me actually knowing all the specifics of what goes on in camp. So I'm gonna let your imagination fill that in.
My imagination was pretty well, yeah.
Perfect. That's good. Alrighty. So, all of you, not all the students at the camp, but all of the campers in your particular squad are currently out together on a nature hike on one of the paths that kind of leads just a little ways up onto Mount Coulter, which is the mountain that this camp is tucked up against. So, you're walking through the forest, taking in the sights, doing the hiking stuff. And I would like everyone, I'll go around, to give me a description of, introduce your character, give a bit of a visual description, what are they currently doing, if you want to touch a little bit on what they have been doing in this camp so far, feel free to, but it sort of paints a picture of who you are here in this moment, just to be your character. I'll start since my screen in this order. I'll start with Mary Katherine.
Alright.
Who are you and what are you doing?
My name is Jennifer. Anyway, I'm Jennifer. I was currently finishing up a nice jog through the woods. So I'm decked out in whatever is, I don't know, common, like Nike or something. Like some type of like running type of hiking boots, but they're not like, they don't look like they're for trekking through the woods. They look like they're for running through the woods.
Are these because you are on a specifically hike right now, so are these just your general shoes that you've worn for the hike? Or would you be wearing more hiking shoes knowing that like this is a group outing right now?
I'm probably wearing like the actual hiking shoes.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that in case it was unclear.
She has a hair up in a ponytail, dark hair, with blue eyes, athletic build. She definitely looks like she is used to being in the woods, used to doing some sort of athletic activity. I'd say she looks like she's probably wearing clothes that are kind of for the outdoors, but kind of on a more athletic side of things. So she's wearing like the Under Armour type of like sweat resistant type of shirt that's long sleeves so the bugs don't bite her, but then she's wearing leggings or something. Probably with like a t-shirt over it. Then I would say she's probably wearing some sort of like microfiber type of pants that are like good for hiking through the woods or something like that. What has she been doing throughout most of the camp? She's always like for going on the outdoor type of adventures. Like she's always like ready to go whenever it's like, oh, it's time to like do something athletic or hiking or whatever. Like I'm down. She's like the first person putting on her stuff and like ready to go. She is there like getting everybody, talking to all the people that she possibly can, and like, hey, like, you guys ready? And she's like making sure that everybody's prepped up and like has all their hand sanitizer and like their bug spray and like all that kind of stuff. She is like ready to get out there. So that's mostly what she's been mostly focusing on. I'd say people probably notice that she does tend to like to stay out in the woods like a little bit longer though, but like Just like a little bit longer. Just kind of like maybe it's the first person out, but there's like the last person to come in kind of thing. But then
Does she smell weird when she comes back? Is she the kid smoking pot at camp?
No, she does not smell like it. She does, if anything, she comes back like sweatier, if that makes sense. Like it looks like she was like didn't get enough athletic stuff, so she like purposely like did more to get more of the workout.
We would not be friends, but okay. Sounds exhausting.
And then, like, whenever everybody else is together, she's always, like, there for, like, big group gatherings. Whenever, like, all the camps and, like, when all of us are together to be there. I'd say that she's always, like, full-on participating in that stuff. So that is general overview of, like, what she's been doing, what she's currently doing.
I love it.
Is there any other descriptions you want?
I think that's pretty good for now, and if anything comes up, we can verify it later.
Cool.
Good.
Jennifer
Alright.
or Jenny?
Jennifer.
Jennifer.
I feel like you're gonna try to call her Jenny anyways.
Black hair, ponytail. Average height for a 13-year-old, so I'm probably taller than some of the guys.
Well, baby little real talk about TikTok.
Alrighty, Sam, if you want to go ahead and take it away with your character.
All right. My character's name is Reuben Charoson. He is kind of tall and lanky, very light blonde hair, fairly short hair. He is, and at this moment, he is definitely up at the front of the hike. He is trying to, he wants to be, right up at the front of the pack, kind of helping steer where we're going through the woods. Even if he really isn't in control of that, he would rather be. He likes to kind of take that kind of guiding people around role. He likes to pretend like he knows everything around here. And he mostly does. He mostly knows how this camp runs. Been here a while.
Maybe.
Yes.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. No, he's been around this camp a while. As for what he's wearing, I've conveniently dressed up in this. He is flannel. He is never. You basically never see him without his backpack. He is always, even when it's cumbersome and in the way, he's always got his backpack. He never lets that leave his side. And the two things you'd never see him without are his backpack and his little multi-tool that he keeps on his belt. Yeah, he likes to, in addition to, being at the front of the group when we're on big group hikes and stuff, he will periodically throughout the day just kind of disappear, and no one really knows where he's going, but usually he'll get spotted a little while later kind of coming back out of the woods because he likes to go explore things on his own. Yeah. Let's see, what else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to go through.
Probably covers the general gist of it for now.
Yeah,
And again,
I think
if
that's-
stuff comes up relevant later,
that's pretty good.
we can delve into it.
Cool.
So, awesome.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Renee, if you would like to introduce us to yourself.
I'm M. Castillo. 13 years old, dark hair, wearing all black, baggy sweater. You can't see it, but I'm wearing a black skirt thing. Combat boots, Makeup not very well done, but on the face. Yeah, managed to do it in the morning.
That's the first part.
Yeah, on there, really is.
What's the important part?
As we're walking down this path, I'm probably off to the side, not quite in the main group. Probably one hand trailing across the bark of the trees. Maybe the other hand's holding some dirt, kind of trailing it down to the ground through my fingers. Throughout the camp, I participate in the activities, but probably off to the side by myself, trying to squeeze in some books when I can before the camp counselors force me to put my book down and partake. Don't really look at anybody. That's it.
have you been carrying around mostly?
Hmm?
And what book is it that you're carrying around? Okay. Can we see what the book that we're naming?
Well, I have to go get one.
No, I'm saying like,
Oh.
would we watching know what it is, or like, is that just giving
It's probably some
no one knows.
It's probably some generic book. Let's just say is Lord of the Rings written? Yeah, it's written. Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that's written.
I haven't set us a year, but like
Lord of the Rings, that's the book.
I like it. Awesome.
But which one? You guys don't know.
Ooh. It's like some jumbo pack, like all of them all in one. It's like
a giant tome. It's bigger than I am because I'm a 13-year-old girl.
I appreciate that it's Lord of the Rings and not Harry Potter. Like, this is a 13-year-old girl who I would have been friends with.
Who has quality. Harry Potter's good too.
Parents said you could only like pack one series, so that was one you went with.
Yeah. They said I could only pack one book, so I chose the entire the entire compendium of Lord of the Rings. Technicalities.
Perfect. Alrighty, Jake, if you would like to have a go at it.
Man, I thought Elizabeth was next. Okay,
Yeah, Googled you.
Hi, my name is Kapule Niolani, but I probably just have the hell it's called me Cop. What up, Cop? I'm still unsure about my pants. I'll finish with those, but I've got dark brown hair and kind of like like light russet, like skin tone, like tan kind of vibe, kind of Jason Momoa, not full Israel. I can't remember Iz's last name because it's really long. But yeah, not full Iz, but more like Momoa. My hair is fairly short, though like, or at least I show up to camp with it short every time, but then I like make all effort to try and make it longer. Like, there's a lot of hair flicking in water, if anyone ever catches it, as if I think my hair's longer yet, like every day. Grow it out while I have the chance. My shirt has had its sleeves cut off, probably by me, and like not feathered well,
Who
but
else?
like feathered for sure.
Who else
Like
would do
someone
it?
took a knife or scissors and was like, we're gonna try and make this, breathe better. And then the collar was cut off for some reason. But it's still like the same neckline. It's not deeper. It's just the collar's gone. On top of that, I have a hooded cape, not like a magician's cape, but just like a stock bolt cloth cloak that doesn't have a clasp, but just like ties. Had one of my aunties make me. Whenever we go on hikes, I carry my pointy stick. Every now and then I throw it at something, often like to the side of the path, and just like go and get it. I never hit anything that you know of. I'm just like making sure it's balanced. I have once or twice broken a stick while doing this and then picked up a new one on previous hikes. And let's see. I'm still not sure about the pants. I have a shark tooth necklace with puka shells. And then I'm really stuck between whether I wear jeans or I wear those like long cargo pants. But I think I wear jeans.
You wear cargo jorts.
That's it. They are jean cargo pants.
Like, I know, but like, oh, those are things? I was just like,
No, but they are now.
The pockets would be
They will
super
be.
convenient to me.
Bro,
But
that's
I feel
the
like
merchandising that we're going for from this afterwards.
I feel like I like denim. Yeah.
Cargo jorts.
Like, let's say they are some weird form of Jankos that have like the really deep pockets but don't flare out as much around the leg. Or if they did, I like hemmed them or like trimmed them shorter so that way they're not as baggy. But the knees are really dirty with mud and just like soil and grime and shit. But yeah, I think that's me.
And
And you said
finally-
cop, like COP for your nickname?
Yeah, whatever. I mean, whatever pronunciation fits you best.
Okay. I just want to make sure I got the right sound. Okay. Hello. I am Bailee, our camp counselor. So I am a junior in college. My major is event coordination, so this is like a dream job. This is my 3rd summer here, and I absolutely love it. I am 5'7". I have reddish brown, really curly hair, so I keep it in 2 braids. Kind of a high-pitched voice, which I can't actually do because IRL I sound like a man, but just imagine. And campers have never seen me frown or even not smile.
I've never
They're
seen you not
sure if
smile in
it's
real life.
natural. They're like not sure if it's like normal or like an act, but that's all they've seen in my 3 summers here. I'm always wearing my camp t-shirt tucked in to I have like a variety of colors of like khaki shorts with a brown belt, and my hiking shoes. My fanny pack keeps all of my camp gear in it, and that's everything, I think.
Question, because I was thinking about this as Koff was being described. How do you feel about the large pointed stick that Koff is dragging around on these hikes?
I'm a little
worried.
uncomfortable, but I told him that as long as it doesn't hurt anyone and he uses it constructively in nature, that I don't have a problem with it, but I'm closely monitoring the situation.
I love it. I love it.
I'm really unsure of my relationship with Bailee right now. I'm trying to consider, like, but
It's up to you.
a lot of 13-year-old boys are simps, but I'm trying to decide.
You're a simp. Just accept
I
it.
might be a
He's
simp.
backing away. Oh.
I'm gonna accept that my
He
kid might
doesn't
be a
want
simp.
to accept that he's a simp.
Awesome. So,
The simpness inflicts nothing on Jake Katie, just Kapule and Mulan.
Keep telling yourself that.
Can you spell your actual name, your actual character's name, Jake? Because I have
Yeah.
no idea how that's spelled.
Kapule is the first name, and then the last
Kapule.
name, Neolani, is Neolani. I started my Hawaiian lessons on Duolingo today, so I was like, oh yeah, like, I'll do a Hawaiian name.
Aw.
alrighty. So, this is the crowd of characters that we watch hiking through this mountain path. Not too terribly difficult of a path. I mean, it's not like super, super rugged trails. It's probably one of the more worn regular trails that campers regularly go on. So, kind of walking along. This is technically speaking a group, I guess like point. So within the camp, you have, based on like kind of some of the cabin breakup, you're broken up into squads. So you guys form one squad. I don't know if you have a squad name. I put it out there.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
your
we
squad
do.
name, Bailee?
We are the Clearwater Crab.
I like it. So you guys, the Clearwater Crabs, are on this hike as part of like this squad. There's some like friendly inter-cabin competitions that kind of happen. Nothing like too extreme, but you know you can get points for like various activities and stuff. End of the summer, an award ceremony. Some people think it's fun, some people think it's a little bit annoying, but you know, it's there, so what have you. And as part of this hike, there's a like a bingo game basically of like various nature stuff. So if you spot things, you get points. Whether or not you are actually participating in it is both up to you and also up to how much Bailee is enforcing this, or if she's just letting it be free time. Do you have any thoughts on that, Bailee? Are you encouraging this or just letting them have at it?
Wait, encouraging what? My sound.
Encouraging
Okay.
them to participate in this basically woodland bingo as you're walking.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
As for the rest of you, are you participating in woodland bingo?
Oh!
Totally.
No.
Yes.
Definitely.
If-
Definitely.
You'll get a sticker. I have stickers.
If it's
Come on,
something I
guys.
think is cool, then yes. But if I have to turn it in for Woodland Bingo, then I just keep it. I have a little pouch at my hip. I'm gonna say I have more than one belt on, but no need for a belt. And one of those belts holds like a pouch that like clinks as it goes along. Not with like the sound of money, but you're not sure what's in there. And then I have a secondary pouch that I stick like cool rocks I find. But yeah, I'm probably not
Bailee is
participating when they go.
uncomfortable.
I just get distracted.
Jennifer, you said you're participating and is not participating. Reuben, are you participating?
Definitely. Ruben is very much into this.
Awesome.
And you will get a sticker for that. I've got my sticker roll right here.
I probably give Bailee something that isn't from the bingo. I give her a shell just randomly. I'm like, hey, here you go. And then I walk off to like the side.
That is in the Clearwater crab spirit, so thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's a hermit crab shell, and then
Where did you even get that? We're not even near the water.
Hey, Reuben, shh, Reuben. What's happening? Okay, I have the shell with the crabs.
Okay, whatever.
I found that I had it the other day.
Not on the list, but all right.
Reuben. Oh, I guess someone was like, Reuben, stop. I'm crushing it, Reuben.
Oh, I got you. Sorry.
Don't worry, I got you back.
I quietly hand him, like, try to sneakily hand him something that is actually on the list.
I take it
to go give. I don't know what kind of things are on our list here.
I think would be on the list.
This is. I'll say this is like something like an arrowhead or something.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
a bingo.
I stick it in my bag.
Yeah.
I don't give it to her. Thanks for that. I'll try and find you one too.
Sure. Yeah, sounds good. You just shake.
A couple times I throw my stick at something off to the side of the path and go and get it.
Okay. Did I make the bingo, or is that from someone else in the camp?
Like, there's probably like some bingo cards and like the general structure is carried over year after year since this is pretty standard. I'd say each year the counselors can revamp it a bit. So if you want to add anything to it, you can.
Okay.
Have some freedom
I'm
in
just
it.
wondering.
Yeah. So unless is there any other interactions that you guys want to have before or during the course of this walk?
I want to walk over to Castile. Hi, I noticed you're lagging behind a bit, but if you keep up with us, there's actually a lot of awesome nature stuff we're talking about at the front of the group.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm fine.
Okay, just make sure you stick with the group, for safety. Try and listen in.
I'm okay.
I come over right before you. It was like, does she need protection? Is something happening? Is she hurt?
Oh, you asking me?
Do you want? Yeah, Counselor Bailee. Do you need me to watch her? Do I need to?
I think she's okay. I think she's just choosing to have some more personal time right now. But thank you.
I mean, I can trail behind and protect the group. Get the stick.
Okay, I would actually love for you to stick with the group and learn all the nature stuff and do bingo with us. But thank you so much.
Also, if a bear attacks, you gotta be ready. She's gonna be the first one to go. I'm just saying, the bear's gonna get her. She's walking the slowest.
Maybe just keep her in your peripheral, and I would appreciate that so much.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go back.
Of course, yeah.
I'm gonna go to the front of the group. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go back to the front where Ruben, I'm assuming, is probably taking lead point since you.
Oh, totally,
got distracted.
totally.
I'm walking next to Castile now, just keeping her in my peripheral.
What?
Just walk. Yeah. You need a stick? I can find you, a walking stick.
I'm okay.
Alright. You see I've already picked up a stick and just kind of throw it to the side like I didn't already have one? Alright, yeah.
And unless there's anything else anyone wants to talk about and interact, the rest of the hike goes by pretty uneventfully. You kind of go up a little ways into the mountain. There's a few areas where the path cuts near one of the cliffs where you can like look out and see like a bit of a stretch of trees, and then the lake itself. Very pretty view. Fun spot for campers to go up and visit. Rest for a few minutes, turn back around, head on back to the camp, back down the same path as before. And you arrive back down in the camp proper, which is basically just like a mostly cleared out area, still tucked in the middle of the woods, but up against the lake.
As we get back to camp, if any other squads are nearby, Kapule starts simping hard for like trying to impress any girls walking by. It's like he just throws a spear like at things. He's like, yeah, that's a hard to hit target, and like just throws it, and then like goes back over and gets it like and looks at it like good balance, like he's judging it, and then yeah. I knew this kid. I was this kid for a little bit of camp, but I also knew this kid.
I know this is you.
Jake had much more failures in real life as far as like the attempts to simp, and did way worse. But
alrighty, so you guys come back into the main camp proper, and the other like cabins, or I guess squads, probably the easier way to refer to them, have also been like out on these hikes. I think one of them still hasn't come back, but there is one that like has gotten back. So there's already a little bit of a crowd of kids that are scattered around near what is basically like an open air dining pavilion. So paved ground, some columns, a bit of a roof, but no walls or anything. Handful of tables. Serves as a dining area primarily, but also gets used for any sort of like practice activities. Anytime they need like tables and space to do stuff. Plus just a chill area for people to hang out with in between activities if they want to sit in the shade. And it's right outside of what is basically like just a large cabin that looks like probably an old hunting lodge of some sort, but in the camp functions as the main office. The kitchens, any like supply closet is probably coming off of one side. As well as, just like any of the other like buildings and stuff camp might need is typically encased in this cabin. And you see as you come up, there is a cluster of kids, look like they probably got back not too terribly long ago, but rather than dispersing as they usually do when you come back and have free time, are all clustered around one particular girl who looks not quite completely upset, but like maybe like she was upset, looking a little bit ruffled, but like she's just starting to calm down, but still a little bit worked up. And she's talking to like all these other kids that are like clustered around her, like trying to see what's going on. Did you do anything?
Ruben's definitely breaking off and heading over and taking a look and seeing what's going on over here.
I think I satellite. Yeah.
Can I try to sidle close without joining the group and listen in?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Ruben's definitely like going up into the group.
I'm gonna pretend to be reading my book, but actually
I'm satelliting while still watching Castile on my peripherals because I haven't been told to stop. But trying to listen in.
I'll probably walk up and try to actually talk to her. I'm the only counselor here, right?
No, so there are at least 2 other counselors, each that also like lead their own squad. The other counselors, I can go ahead and pull up names, but I did give them names. Not
Freddie.
everyone has names. It's not too late. So I pull it up and say it. It's not canon yet. The other 2 camp counselors are Aiden Stout, who leads the Badger Squad, and Holly Green, who leads the Wonder Squad.
Wait, who leads the Wonder Squad?
Holly Green.
Holly Green. Is she really peppy, or like I feel like I'm gonna make fun of how Wonder Squad?
No, she's also moderately peppy. Yeah, I feel like at first glance, anyways, her and Bailee seem like they probably get along pretty well, but don't want to actually speak to you as to whether or not behind the scenes you guys do get along pretty well. But is a relatively enthusiastic camper. You're younger, I'd say she's probably a sophomore. So she's, I'd say she's sophomore, and this is probably her first year at camp. But also a relatively peppy individual.
Should
But you
we
don't-
be going up with like her other friends and the other squads and like but circling around whatever the girl is injured or whatever's happening.
Okay.
But she's like looking at all of her other friends like, hey, what's up? And then that's it.
Her
I
other
don't
friends
know.
that aren't in the squad.
Yep.
Dude, these effing losers in my squad, though. No.
Non-Clearwater crab friends.
And we do have a squad full of kind of weird kids.
Hey, we're the coolest squad.
We are the best squad, guys. We are the best.
Because we have Bailee.
Alrighty, so you guys come up. You don't see the other two counselors right now. Based on who's here, you imagine that Holly and her squad are still probably on the trail. They don't look like they've come out yet. You don't spot any of her campers, but it does look like Aiden's squad is here, but you don't see him yet. But you come up to, and in the middle, kind of sitting on like one of the tables. I will say like sitting like on the table, like not on the chairs, like leaning, off the side, is a camper named Lexi. Probably around maybe 12ish to 13 or so. Kind of shorter hair.
Thank you.
That takes just long enough for her to put it into like two little pigtails. And she's sitting there looking a little upset. But like some of the other campers around her are like calming her down, like, tell us what happened, what's going on. And she's just like, let me see, decide if I'm going to be doing character voices or not, because I can't do very
Oh, yeah. Voices.
Also, that requires me to script out everything. Well, not script out everything, but to say everything. Alrighty. Let's see. What would she be saying in this moment? Okay, I think I know how I'll have her tell her story. So you walk up just as like one of the other campers is like, so tell us what happened, like what's going on? And like they kind of see like that a new group is coming. They're like, hear what happened on their trip. And you've got Lexi, she's like, alrighty, so me and Marcia were just chatting, right? Like, we like to talk when we're on the mountains. And Marcia saw something, right? She's always like looking for the cool birds and stuff. Thought maybe it would be something on the bingo. And then I swear something huge jumped out of the bushes and like attacked her and like went for her. And like you hear one of the like other campers pipe up. They're like, Aiden said it was just a squirrel. Just like it was a huge squirrel, and it totally knocked Martha over the cliff edge. And she went tumbling down, and she was stuck down there. And by the time Aiden got her back up, she was covered in blood. And she's in there right now. Hopefully she's okay. And she kind of gestures over to like the cabin. And you can tell, a little upset. Also maybe enjoying the attention just a little bit of like getting to tell the story. This might not be the first time she's told it, and she seems to be getting like a little more wound up each time she's reliving it. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, cool.
He walks off to his cabin after hearing this. He'll be back in a little bit. He's
Okay.
gone for a little bit.
Alright, Kapule wanders off. Right there.
Okay, everyone, this sounds like a very scary moment. I think this is a good time to do some of our deep, therapeutic belly breaths. So everyone join with me. Remember, the air goes into our belly. I want to see it fill up really big. Follow my hand. All the way full and slowly release. Let's do another
Ruben
one.
just
All
slides
together.
on out of here.
One more. Let me see your belly get really big. Even more air this time, and now, but we all feel better. Lexi, are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Like, and Martha, I think she's okay. She just looked like she banged her leg up a little bit. I was worried, but
I understand that's
okay,
a
right?
very scary situation, but your feelings are valid, and thank you for sharing with us.
Kind of like smiles up. I don't know.
Kapule walks back over at this point. The cloak is gone. It wasn't really working super well on the trail, kept getting caught on thorns. But now he's fashioned like a quiver for other sharp sticks out of a hoodie. And it's just like it kind of works, but it falls apart a lot. And he's just like got it on, like slung over, and he comes and sits up like, all right, ready for this giant squirrel to show up. Bring it. This is my camp experience.
Bailee is
Like,
uncomfortable.
starts laughing at him and like pointing with like, oh man, this kid, he's so entertaining.
Yeah, Ruben definitely slid off and disappeared when the breathing exercises started.
They are
Jennifer fully
therapeutic.
participated.
Yeah. If I got back in time, I participated. But
So you showed up at like right at the tail end of like right as everyone's like and exhale and like they're not.
okay, I take a
You
giant
exhale.
gulp of air and then just like as if I was breathing the whole time, but I'm still walking. So it's
I've been here this whole time as you actively walk in visibly.
yeah, breathing guys, yeah.
Alrighty. So, right as you guys are kind of like wrapping this up, those of you that are still there see that from the main building, which among all the things listed previously also serves as sort of like a mild infirmary, you know, any kids get banged up, bruised, scraped a knee. I mean, you're in the woods, so you're going to be running into something at some point, whether that's a scratch or poison ivy, which also I will say you've noticed as you are like walking by and starting to take in like everyone else, all the attention has been on Lexi. But there's also like another kid, probably like one of the like younger campers here, like sitting on one of the other tables with like very, very red legs. He's trying not to itch, and he looks like he probably got into some sort of plant life that he shouldn't have.
Nobody touching.
Yeah, he's just kind of like sitting, like waiting for the whole like Martha and Lexi situation to be dealt with before he gets any attention. But right about this moment, right about at this point, from the main cabin out walks another girl that's probably about the same age as Lexi, followed by the other counselor, Aiden, and finally a third individual who you recognize as the giant squirrel. He's back, guys.
They can talk.
Followed by Flora Higgins, who is an older woman, probably maybe 50s or so, if you had to make a guess. Gray hair that's pulled back behind a bandana. She is the camp director, so for lack of a better term, Bailee should be your boss. Although she does tend to let you guys pretty much run the camp for the most part. She steps in if there's major issues, but mostly keeps the camp running. She's in charge of cooking. She's in charge of general repairs. She's in charge of basically like keeping the camp running without needing to like call in or hire anyone else. So everything that you guys don't take care of, she typically does. And so she walks out. You see the girl with them, who you do recognize as Martha. Limping maybe just a little bit, but really not too bad. Probably more sore than any sort of lingering injury. Bandage wrapped around her leg. Hair a bit ruffled, a few leaves tucked in there, but otherwise none too worse for wear. She kind of runs over and joins Lexi. They kind of talk for a moment, exchange like, "You okay?" And like, they are. And then start to like look like they're about to, wander off and go do their thing now that she seems to be doing good. Unless you stop her in her macros in the middle.
I try to talk to Martha when she leaves the group with Lexi. But I wait for them to break free.
Alright, I think exactly they start to wander if you want to grab her as they're wandering.
I'm just gonna jog up with my sticks clacking and my hoodie thing. Martha. Yeah. What happened, really? They were saying
Oh.
a squirrel, but Lexi said it was a giant squirrel.
I mean, it was a pretty big squirrel, but I think it startled me more than anything. Flora was telling me that they get fox squirrels up in this part sometimes, so I think it might have been one of those. But mostly, I think it was, I mean, when she kind of like looks down her leg, it wasn't even the squirrel that got me, it was the rock I fell on. And you kind of look down at the bandaged leg and like sets it back down.
Sorry I wasn't there, Martha. But I'll be there next time.
To keep me from falling on a rock?
Yes. And the thing that made you fall too. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And you can tell like it's probably not buying your show off right now, but maybe seems just a little bit
I was
reassured.
gonna say like if he knows her, and I was like no, regardless of whether he knows her.
Yeah, I will say she is not in your squad.
Oh, yeah.
There are definitely camp activities that like everyone does together regardless of squad. If there's like particular like electives or activities that you do, you could like potentially know her from one of those. But yeah, no. Other than that.
Yeah. Okay.
Am I close enough to hear Cap talk to them while I fake reading my book?
Absolutely, yeah.
Cool.
There, I'd say you're just like right on the edge of the.
I
the edge of
just-
the pavilion, and you were hanging on the edge too, so they're probably walking by you as this happens.
I just really, really, really want to see what she saw. Can I?
Alrighty, yeah. You want to use. What is the move that you're specifically using?
Should I say it aloud, or are we still keeping it secret right now?
No, go ahead. Go ahead and tell me what it's called.
Telepathy?
Alright, you'd like to use your telepathy.
Abilities.
Read me off the specifics on that so I know how it's.
You can read people's thoughts and put words in their mind. This can allow you to investigate a mystery or read a bad situation without needing to actually talk. You can also manipulate someone without speaking. You still roll moves as normal, except people will not expect the weirdness of your mental communication. And as she's like, I'm trying to read her mind as like Cop is asking about what happened, so it's like she's thinking about what happened, and I want to see from her perspective what went down.
Alrighty, yeah, go ahead. I'll have you do, roll me investigate a mystery. So I think that's plus sharp, so give me 2d6, and you're plus your sharp, and then I'll let you ask the questions based off of that.
8.
An 8, alrighty, and that's with your mods and everything?
What happened there? And hopefully
I
just
think
get
that's
her,
a good one.
get her run
Gauging,
down.
like a memory.
And I'm just going to continue pretending reading my book.
Yeah. So, as she is talking to Cop and like kind of relaying like, yeah, squirrel hit me. You kind of see like flashing through her memories as she's recalling this, an image of large furry something like kind of darting towards her, spooking her, but like her not really getting a good view of it. You see her view kind of wobble a bit as she's presumably losing her balance. You watch through her eyes as she slips down a bit of a cliff. Like, it's not that big of a cliff, and it's still probably like at a bit of a slope, but definitely enough of she steps back a little bit too far, her foot gives way, she takes a bit of a tumble. You feel more than like see visually a bit of like an impact of like something hits a leg, a bit of warmth as like blood starts pouring down it. But then you keep tumbling back into like a bunch of bushes. Like you see like the light filtering through what is trees, rolling a bit further back into like really tough, or you through her mind, seeing being tucked like way back into a sheltered area of the brush that she's fallen down into. Kind of feel her like, looking around, realizing she's in a bush, very dark bush, or, whatever the brush is. But then you also, and, at this point, kind of following along with her sort of thing, but then you do, like, almost see and feel, like, I'd say probably feel more than anything as you're, like, touching into her mind, a strange, like, reaching presence that starts to, like, creep up, and you start to see, like, the shadows grow darker around the tree line, as you know what was already a shadowed area is like going from like shady to some weird darkness is like really creeping up like onto her and starting to wrap around and engulf her. And then suddenly you catch her like look your way, suddenly almost as if she realized like something wonky was coming from your direction, and you snap out of her memories.
And then Anne's gonna have a very like physical reaction because she has no idea that she do that, and she's just like really focuses back into the book and ignoring into the bubble.
Snaps over.
I can't go in the bubble with headphones. Just pretend.
Yeah, and she kind of looks at you like with a bit of like confusion. Like she doesn't seem to have. She gauges that something happened, but you don't quite get the impression that like she completely understood like you were like what just happened. But her attention's on you for a moment, and then before she can really like call out to you or do anything, Lexi's pulling her on ahead, saying, you know, let's go get cleaned up before dinner, all that jazz. And they start to run off.
Don't worry, Martha, that's just something from my squad. And then I walk up.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna actually read my book and probably shake a little bit because that was absolutely horrifying.
Perfect. This is the horror game, so.
Ooh. There's a
anyone
tap
didn't know
on
that.
your book. I'm like tapping him with a stick, but not the dirty end. Did you want to ask her something too? I can tell you what she told me. If you were.
Did I hear what she told me? What she told him?
Yeah, they were like right in front of you as this whole conversation went down. So like, yeah.
I'm fine. Thank you. I'm fine.
Alright. Don't worry, I'm still looking out for you. I just wanted to let her know I'm looking out for her too. I don't know if Bailee told you earlier, but she said you were definitely in danger of being the weak link if the bear attacked us, so I got your back.
I'm just gonna ignore you now.
Because that's totally something Bailee would have said. Definitely sounds like her.
Totally sounds like it.
So is it morning or is it like lunchtime?
It's like maybe mid-afternoon or so. Probably schedule lunch, a little after lunch hike, and then you guys have some free time until dinner.
Hell yeah. Free time.
Yeah.
I did have a question as well.
Yes.
How far into the summer are we right now? Is this like the beginning of camp, or
Couple
are we
weeks,
somewhere
I
in the middle?
Yeah, I haven't like completely specified yet. Let's say it's maybe been like a week and a half.
Okay.
I'm not
Also,
100% sure how long camps are, so like I'm hoping that it still leaves most of the summer, but also like it's been just long enough that like you guys are starting to settle into a routine. Let's say a solid like week. Like maybe you're just entering week 2. I don't know how time should work at camps. I don't know how time works, so like.
Depends on the camp, but like summer camp, yeah, that's at least a couple weeks.
Yeah. You're still in the early parts of it, but not like you just got here.
This sound having a chuckle every now and then made like part of the squirrel thing way creepier because you're like something dark, and I was like, and I was like, what the fuck? Oh, cool. But are we in the southeast, like, or are we like in Canada, or like
Different country.
I'll say U.S. I have not picked a location. I just consider this as the amalgamation of all the wooded mountainous areas in the United States.
Oh, that's chill. I'm just curious on like the temperature. It sounds really silly to say.
We're in Oregon, obviously.
It's beautiful.
Oregon
there.
summers are not warm, guys.
They're not. But Gravity Falls themed.
I mean, fair, yeah.
Although it does get over 100 degrees in Oregon sometimes, it can be
Care
hot.
about temperature, it cares about looking cool, but like, so we'll ignore temperature. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'd say pretty warm. You're not in like a heat wave or anything. It's probably in like, you know, moderately temperate area where it definitely gets warm in the summer. Nights can sometimes be cool, but they're not going to be like super, super cold. You're probably I'll say you're in that nice like in between where whether you wear long sleeves or not can be a stylistic choice rather than a environmental necessity.
Which is actually how Emeraude is surviving in her black long sleeve, long skirt outfit without heat stroking every day.
Yeah, I'd say there's probably like one day right at the beginning.
No,
like,
yeah, her nickname's M. Her full name's Emeraude, but M.
Okay, yeah, sweet.
Yeah, I'd say there's probably like one day, like that first week, that was like exceptionally warm. You were really pushed it on whether or not you'd be able to wear that outfit, but you pushed through.
As I have been wearing the same outfit every day.
Sweet.
But yeah.
Okay. With my free time, I'm trying to decide. I'll go with my sling of sticks and like a cardboard box that I've taken from somewhere is set up as a target. I'm gonna try and hit it as many times as possible, and then I'm gonna go swim in the lake.
Awesome.
If I see Ruben at some point, I'll ask if he wants to go swimming, but it's not a priority for me. I'm just like, if I see him, to build a squad.
I was actually about to say, while you're throwing the sticks, I'm going to wander over and look at your ragtag little quiver that you've made and be like, you want me to tie that a little better? I think I can make that a little more sturdy. It looks like it's falling apart.
It is.
I know a lot of knots. I can here. Let me just then I just tie like a much better knot than whatever he had the first time and tighten it up. It still looks kind of goofy because it's a quiver made out of a hoodie, but it at least it's not falling apart now.
Dude, that's super choice. My kid says choice. You want to throw? You want to throw one or two? Got this little like training course set up here.
Oh no, because like whether or not Cop has noticed this, Ruben definitely would know. There is like an archery range, so you guys could theoretically be doing this on as well. Or you can keep throwing it with probably like a pizza box that Flora threw out like the first night.
I've probably been banned from the archery range at this point.
Ruben's not going to suggest going to the archery range because there's actual archery going on probably, and this, yeah, it would be a real challenge to throw these sticks that far, I think. Yeah. So he'll to go along with it. He'll pick up one of them and just throw just one just to see.
Only just because I think this would be a fun time to use them on rolls.
What do you want me to roll?
I'm probably not banned for this, but at least have a couple strikes.
It's only a week, so hopefully you're not banned.
Like you showed up, like you were originally like enrolled in archery, like did it, like let's say like Aiden's the one who was like in charge of leading like archery and like kind of suggested that maybe you should move into a different elective.
Yeah. Yep.
You're not banned, but you know he's watching.
I either got distracted simping or I stole a bow at one point. Just to run around with camp with, to look cool.
Yeah. I will say, if you guys want to roll me, speaking of looking cool, I'll make this an act under pressure. So roll cool for me, and we'll see how good you guys are at hitting the target.
Cool is not my strongest trait. Oh wait, actually it's one of my strongest traits. I take it back.
Hey, you're cool.
Oof, but I did not roll well. That's a 5.
A 5, and you had a 7? Alright.
Yeah.
I almost just spilled my entire drink.
Do you have any modifiers to Cool J? To help you out with that? Oh, that's even... Oh.
+2.
Oof.
Alrighty, so yeah. So, act under pressure, let's see, a 5, that is going to be a failure. So, I'm going to say you kind of chug a bit. They're not coming anywhere near that target.
Yeah.
I'm going to laugh while I'm eating my book.
Yeah, Ruben, these are not very well balanced spheres. So even you are having a little bit of difficulty, but after you've been filling them out for a while, there's one or two you could get. Like, it's not super effective. Like, you've handled, like, ranged weapons here at camp before and the archery range and things like that, done a lot better than you are currently doing in this moment. But, you know, the occasional one's hit.
Yeah.
Ruben, you're really good at this. Like, I should know. I practice all the time. Like,
There's totally, yeah. I mean, I've done some archery in the past year. Like, I've been here a couple times. I've done the archery like a few times, so that helps.
yeah,
you know,
he doesn't
getting.
like me. He doesn't like me doing archery.
I mean, you just got to stay behind the line. You just can't get out there while we're shooting.
Hey, I had to tactically move towards the target. You gotta really make sure that thing's dead. But dude, I think he's just jealous because like he knows nothing. That's okay. But dude, you should really carry around this quiver instead of me. Like you heard what they were talking about over there. These giant squirrels that are attacking people. And like, I don't know what's in your backpack, but like you got like spears in there.
I got lots of stuff. Nah, but I got plenty of cool stuff, and I pull out my like little multi-tool, and I'm like, okay, I got plenty of stuff. Dude, I can, and I like flip out the little knife blade on my multi-tool, and I'm like, see, that'll be fine. And I flip it back in.
I still think you should have the spears, because dude, I mean, what if it's something really long arms or something? It's like, I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you this equipment you helped me make. I'm gonna get another hoodie. We can make another one, and I'll carve some new spears, but I really want you to.
Can I say that there's a baseball in my backpack, and I pull out a baseball?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, I pull out a baseball and just toss it. I'm like, I got this. If I need to throw something really far.
How many baseballs you got?
I look in there. I think this is the only one. Maybe there's one more. If I dig around in the bottom of here, I might.
Ruben, those are rookie
Let me see if there's
numbers,
another one.
There was this knight who was like outnumbered by like 50 boars, and he just kept throwing spears and throwing spears. If you only had one baseball, you'd only be able to take out one boar. I'm just saying. I think maybe you should take these spears. I'm not saying those happen, but you know they might.
I think.
And you got.
I think I'll be okay. Here. Okay. Come here for a second. And I like usher you over. Like, if something does really go bad, I've got a lot better things than that spear and this multi-tool. But shh, don't tell anybody. I think Bailee would kill me if she knew I had.
Dude, is it okay if I give you a nickname, Ruben?
Depends on what it is.
That's really smart. Yeah, that's true. I've had some weird nicknames. But dude, I kind of want to call you like Hephaestus because like you know how to like craft shit and like. Oh, I
didn't make any of this stuff. I just found it. Do you know there's?
Oh. Okay, I don't know what to call you then. Something else. But I'll work on it.
Hold on one second. Roll. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I just found some stuff. I don't know where it came from, but like, yeah, there's some crazy stuff that if there was something actually attacking, like, I got us covered. Don't worry.
Wait, where'd you find it? No, you don't have to get too specific, but like, did you find one of the cabins or something? Okay,
no.
Cool. I was nervous initially, and then I'm like, okay, didn't find any of
it was
weird counter that I have. All right, cool, yeah.
It was like a weird hidden compartment in this. Don't worry about it. But there's all kinds of crazy stuff in here, and I'm like saying all this in like really hushed tones, so no one else can hear this. Hopefully.
Yeah. Dude, do you think Jenny can throw a spear really well? I mean, Jennifer, but she's told me not to call her Jenny a couple times. But I mean, she's like always running around and stuff.
I mean,
really
yeah, probably.
To know that it can handle itself if anything goes down.
Off in the distance,
I mean,
that, like Jennifer is like roughhousing with like other people. Like she's the girl who like she's like
I'm pretty sure doing like pull-ups or something.
I'm pretty sure she's fine. I'm pretty sure
she's actually already doing push-ups and pull-ups. You just missed that, and now you look over. Now she's like actively wrestling.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if it came down to it, she could beat any one of us up. I think she's fine.
I think she'd at least even with me. I mean, but like, what year is it? Is it 2020?
She would pummel you.
No, because if it was 2020, the camp would be canceled.
I would say let's.
Sword and Shield come out? That's all I need to know.
I don't know when Pokemon Sword and Shield came out. I don't know these things, Jake. I don't know where this is. I don't know when this is.
She's like that Pokemon trainer that trains fighting Pokemon. Like, I feel like she could go toe-to-toe with a Machoke, but like, I am like a Machoke. So like, That's why I think I could go even.
Ruben has
Yeah, I
like
will say
no
that's-
idea what he's talking about, but he's just kind of nodding along.
I actually am not weak. I am fairly well like built, but not like for a 13-year-old. I'm not like
Right.
But
I'm more built than you are. It's fine. You can admit it.
okay.
She's already hit her growth spurt.
Really, I think Jennifer's hit her growth spurt, so she's got like a few inches on you at least.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I don't think I'm taller.
And like I'm probably close to as tall, but like nowhere near as muscular. Ruben's pretty like tall and lanky.
But hey, Ruben, thanks for telling me that. I am gonna go swimming a little bit. You want to go swimming? I'm into seeing some of the girls look at you, Ruben, and they want to know what's under the shirt. So like, we gotta give the people what they want.
That's not a very convincing argument.
My character is not charming, but he is confident.
Sure. I'll go swimming, but that is not a why. I'll go swimming because I like swimming, but yeah, sure.
I'm just saying, gotta win camp in every category. Okay, I headed into my cabin, and I don't seem to like leave anything aside from possibly my shirt. Like I still have the spears, but I'm shuffling around for something, and then I come back out just with the spears still. And another hoodie, and I'm just like, I still want to make this other quiver, like just in case, maybe I should go more spears. Before we didn't have a threat, now we have a threat. So you just gotta be prepared.
Squirrels? The threat of squirrels? It was a squirrel.
I've had some crazy dreams lately, Ruben. I just, sometimes it's a squirrel, sometimes it's a monster from hell. You gotta be ready for anything. When adventure calls, Ruben, you gotta be ready to fight it with all your spears.
And you're gonna hit that squirrel with a spear.
Hopefully. I mean, maybe you're gonna hit it because you're really good at this, but like...
You could say, Ruben's just thinking about all the times you've missed this stationary pizza box.
He has not hit it once.
Today. Last week I was crushing it.
and thinking of like seeing like a frantic little tiny squirrel running around and like just imagining you hitting that.
This is why we make training fields, Ruben. Not because we're good at things, but because we're bad at things. We gotta get better. But anyway,
Sure.
You wanna go swimming? And then I'm...
Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
So you guys head on down to the lake, splashing around, playing it for a bit. Bailee or Jennifer, anything that you want to be doing or have been doing, and this time if we need to jump back at you, like, that's fine as well. If you had anything that you would have been doing leading up till now.
When the break first starts, I think I'm going to try to find Flora and run this whole makeshift spear throwing by her because I love the creativity, I love the teamwork, but I'm just a little bit uncomfortable by the lack of skill level and the sharpness of the spears. So I'm just going to see what she thinks. Not really comfortable confronting the campers without having her as backup.
Wherever I am, on the compliment of sharpness of the spears, I have that little moment of like pride, like someone's complimented that my handiwork is sharpening these things.
Also, it just occurred to me that I gave him an arrowhead. Oh no.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you, Ruben. Thanks.
That just occurred to me. Oh no. I didn't even think about that when I said arrowhead.
Ruben's killed us all.
Oh no.
You could have given him a flower or a leaf. Those are also
You could have found like a 4-leaf clover.
I am with like other, I don't know, friends from other squads or whatever, where like I did some working out because of weird, I don't know, and then I was actually wrestling somebody.
I like the montage of like, we see you like go wander off to like do like some working out or whatever, and then like scene change cut. Next thing we see is like you on the ground with someone else like going at it. No idea what the lead up to it was, but sure, what the heck.
I feel like she's in a fighting club or either or like JRTC or something, like one of the two. But
Yes.
Oh,
They are
no.
OTC,
She is
right?
somehow like rallied the other kids to do a race off because I don't know why she's gonna like take their lunch money or something. I don't know.
Oh, shit.
I'm kidding. That's not.
I'm scared of all of my campers.
I'm normal here.
What are you talking about? He's probably like, he beat the bingo and gave me an arrowhead. Like,
She is like some
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
like some sort of race, and like you notice that she is just like completely smoking like everybody else. So it was really just to give her an ego trip because she knew that she could outrun everybody.
I like it. I will say I like the like mention of the bingo. I will ask you, Bailee, what is your assessment of like how well did your group actually do at bingo when it came to finding things? Like, do you think that you're just straight up from just your assessment? I'll let you make the call on how many points they actually got.
Okay, I would guess that Ruben found probably multiples of a lot of them, and definitely at least one of everything. Maybe I would subtract points because it was a bit much having him yell in my face every fact he knows about every leaf he found, but I'm just going to keep that to myself. I don't think that Castile found anything, but I really am sure that she learned something on her journey through the hike, and that's what really matters. Cap, I know I saw him pick up some sharp things. I'm going to tell myself that that was for the bingo, so I'm very proud of him for finding those. And Jennifer...
Even though we didn't turn him in for the bingo, he just kept throwing.
Yeah, no, but I know in my heart that he found them for educational reasons, so I'm totally behind that. And I'd say Jennifer probably found most of the items, but she seemed to be making it a little bit competitive. Getting a little intense towards the end, so I don't know what her goal was, but yeah.
that's great. I'm picturing her looking at Ruben every time he brings something back, like that piece of crap. I'm gonna find that too.
Probably.
Like, what am I gonna do with all these rocks?
Anytime that happens, Ruben's like, "Oh yeah, there was one like over there. You could, if you go look behind that tree over there, you could probably find it."
Like, and you said you wanted to go talk to Flora?
Yes.
Alrighty, so jumping back in, we've got Bailee. I'll say this is right as you're starting to watch him off. You have that brief moment to like contemplate, like, mentally tallying up scores and everything. But I'll say we'll play this right as Martha and Lexi have just ran off. The rest of the kids are starting to disperse. You see, you're standing there, Flora and Aiden. And Aiden looks up, realizes that the smaller camper with the red legs is still sitting on the table, waiting. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's right." And he starts going off that way. He's like, "Benji, do not scratch those legs. I've got the ointment for him." And runs off to go tend to what's probably poison ivy that he walks through. And you're there with Flora.
Hi, Flora. So I just want to run something by you. Two of my campers have kind of made a makeshift archery situation. They're throwing these little self-sharpened spears at, I think, a pizza box thing.
Oh, is that what's happening? I thought the coons had gotten in again.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. And they're using great creativity and teamwork, but one in particular is really not great at throwing these, so I'm not sure where we stand on the safety aspect. Just wanted to run that by you and see what you think.
Well, has anyone gotten hurt yet?
No.
Not to my knowledge.
Yes.
Doesn't sound like safety's an issue then now, is it?
He's just,
Look, Bailee,
I just
Bailee.
imagine she's been here for forever and has
And
seen
there's
all of this and she's kind of jaded.
There's a little bit of an undertone of jest to her voice as she's saying this. So she's like, "Look, Bailee, you're way better with these kids than I am. I keep this place running, but it's you and those other counselors that honestly keeping them from wandering off a cliff on a regular basis. So I'm gonna trust your judgment. You've been doing this a while. You're good at this. If you need to handle it, I know you got this. Remember last year when what was it, Mikey or something? he found that beaver, I think it was, that he cornered. And he wanted to keep it, remember? Remember?
Yeah.
And what did you tell to him? What did you say? Remember, Bailee handled that real well. And if you can handle that, then I think you can handle whatever setup those boys are getting into this summer.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Just wanted to run it by you. Okay. Thank you. And I walk off, and I'm like, I personally would want to stop it, but I also want to say they're like bubbly BFF that I think I am, so I'm just gonna let it happen for now, and it's gonna be okay.
Like, I found a beaver. Mikey, stop it.
That was the summer that halfway through the summer, your squad name changed from whatever it was currently to the Beaver Squad. It did say it's a mascot, but the mascot had to stay on the other side of the lake. But yeah, so you gotta wander off probably to go start working on stuff. Do you have anything?
No, I was gonna say, was I in the squad that year? Was I in her squad that year?
It's up to you. Were you in that squad? Do you want to be affiliated with the Beaver incident?
I'd like to think if Mikey's still here as a camper, he's a legend, and if he's not, he's an even bigger legend.
I say he's not here, but he lives on through the campfire stories that are told.
He wasn't allowed
Mikey,
back.
Perfect.
Mikey the Beast Tamer.
Alrighty. But yeah, if there's anything else, I don't know if Jennifer, if you wanted to, I know you talked a little bit about some stuff that you did. I didn't know if you had any like particular moments that you wanted to delve into, or anything you wanted to do, or really any of you guys for that matter, before moving on to dinner.
I'd say she probably went down to the pool after all the working out or whatever.
Wait,
So she
the
went
pool
down
or
to
the lake?
pool. Sorry, not the pool, the lake. I meant,
Oh heck, she's with us.
Yeah, I was just to cool off and like rinse off before she. How like campy is this camp? Like, do we have showers in our cabins, or is this like gotta bathe in the lake kind of camp?
There's a bathhouse.
There's
So
okay,
the
that-
cabins are like separate, but there's a bathhouse. They're not fancy showers by any means. But like there's running water.
You should definitely wear your shower shoes.
Gotta wear those flip-flops.
Just describing a camp right now, by the way, just 100% crappy showers is a good description.
That's how you need to have a proper camp.
Yeah.
That's how you keep that lake funk out of the cabins, but
It's barely keeping it out, but
I mean, it is a bunch of kids, all starting to hit puberty. So
see, we're like early enough. It's not too bad yet, but another week or two, the counselors might be having to run around and give some reminders. Yeah, so both of you are at the lake.
Jennifer, did you win?
Oh, of course I won.
What's our club called again, or our group?
We're Clearwater Crabs.
Hell yeah! Or not hell yeah, I'm a 13-year-old. Huzzah for the Clearwater Crabs!
Everyone knows that nobody hears their first cuss word till at least 14.
It's biological. The throat just can't form those sounds.
I keep saying it because I now Jake Katie work on a shipyard, but like Kapule near Lana
Now.
sheltered.
You've never cussed before.
Way too many aunties would like smack him on like some part of his body if he started cussing around them. So it's just like no.
Yeah, of course I'm gonna represent the squad good, and then I like do something cool, like jump into the lake.
Yeah.
As soon as I say that.
Roll me cool.
Alright, so I rolled a 6 and I have a -1, so that's a 5.
Alrighty.
I rolled
Yeah.
a 4 and got a +2, so I'm at 6.
Alright, both of those are failures. Either one of those. So I'd say you jump in, you go for sort of a twist, but like you don't quite like make it all the way around. You kind of like you make it like halfway. I'll say, Jennifer, smack like on your back. It's a little bit painful, not nearly as graceful as you were hoping. But you realize, but you look up and realize that Kapule has not seen any of it because he was like running to like cannonball at the exact same moment that like you that you flopped. You realize that like he'd already moved on to his, and so.
Ruben definitely saw that.
There's a couple girls over there that like got splashed and they're now upset at you and swam off to be like over the further down the shore.
Yeah, Ruben definitely saw that. He's like, I got this, and gets out to go do it as well and try again and try it.
I definitely went
I also failed. I went ahead and rolled it. I rolled a 5.
You rolled a 5, yeah. There's just like I just like to imagine like the camera pans out and we just see like this dock and all of you are just like jumping, splashing, like making a fool of yourself, but what the heck, you're having fun.
Attempting to do flips and either over-rotating and face-planting or under-rotating and landing on my back.
Yeah.
Em, are you anywhere near us at the lake?
I'm still sitting where I was sitting before when I eavesdropped on you and Martha. Because then I freaked out and now I'm reading my book for realsies.
Okay. If she's somewhat nearby, Sarah, I would invite her to come, join us for the bonding. But if she said no, I wouldn't try that hard.
Yeah, I'd say like with the area, like you could have gone back to her. I'd say if you went from, I'm like trying to mentally like envision a little bit of a map that I've got. If you headed out to like the cabins and then to the lake, you probably wouldn't have gone back past it. So you'd have had to like backtrack a bit.
So
I will say, since you are like over there and like kind of hanging out that, I'd say it would make sense that you'd be privy to probably catching like bits and snippets of Bailee's conversation with Flora about Ruben and Cop's like makeshift like archery. You also like can kind of see Aiden and the younger kid Benji. Like Tim slathered some sort of like anti-itch cream on like this kid's shins, and like you can pick up from like the way they're talking that like poison ivy was an item on their bingo, and Aiden is explaining to them that he was supposed to point out not walk through it, and to be more careful next time to watch where he's going.
That's the greatest camp.
Standing in the middle of a patch of poison ivy saying, "Look, I found it," is not the most effective way of handling these group outings.
I know that kid. I also know that counselor. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Jennifer would probably stop a little before them, and then like to go take a shower real quick before dinner.
Wait. So you get cleaned up. I'd say eventually as time gets past, you get out. Whether you clean up or not is up to you. Sun's starting to go down, so it might be chilly if you stay in the wet clothes. So it might be a smart idea to change into something dry before going to dinner, or else you got out early enough, maybe had a chance to dry in the sun.
I don't shower. I swap from one cut-up shirt to another cut-up shirt.
Ruben's gonna shower.
Yeah, I'm letting the natural lake vibe be my shower.
Ruben's one of the older kids here, so he's been around enough to know that the lake funk will cling to you if you don't shower. So he's gonna take a shower.
While everyone else is going to the shower before dinner, though, do I have my cabin to myself? I imagine I don't. It's
a group cabin.
Okay, I'm gonna take advantage of the fact that like everyone is probably showering or doing something right now before dinner, just to see if my belonging from my grandmother is still where it's supposed to be.
The sword.
Okay, sweet. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, take under maybe mattress or something.
Sword. Chosen one.
Okay. I'm gonna take one of the pouches I had earlier and just kind of like dump it out on the bed. And it's a bunch of shells. And I'm just gonna like kind of pick them up and like just count through all of them in my hands and like just kind of mutter to myself different things that my grandmother told me over time. And then I'm gonna put all the shells back up in the bag as people like start coming back and go to walk off to dinner with people.
So yeah, you guys do that. All of you have a chance to clean up, wrap up whatever activity you were doing, head over to dinner. No simple event. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it matters. Camp food.
Camp food.
Do we sit together or do we sit with other people? This is like the biggest tell of our friendship.
That is up to y'all. Do you sit together?
I sit at a table that was empty, and if people sit next to me, we'll find out. Here's
I
my
go sit
tray.
over with them.
I think M would get here first because M was so close to the, like, I imagine if M didn't get super dirty, it would be the closest to getting to dinner. So,
And if you wanted to just like stuck around the whole time and like hung out here, it's not like unreasonable for students, especially if like they're tired or just want some chill time. This is the perfect place to have it. So you would be like left alone if you wanted to stay here and just wait out until dinner.
Well, what? I'm just gonna go to wherever dinner is, and I'm just gonna grab my tray and sit down at an empty table. And if people sit with me, I'm not gonna stop them.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna cut the line to join M, and when people are gonna be like, I'm joining my group, okay? It's squad rules. And then I'm gonna like peel off, get a tray, and then I'm gonna come and sit by M because that's the only way my lie works. Hey, M, what's
Yeah, Ruben goes and joins you at the table.
Jennifer like
Okay.
waits in line as usual.
I'm really
She's
hungry.
kind of at the back, and then she will come sit at the table as well. But like after waving off to other people, you notice that the clothing she's wearing now is substantially baggier than what she normally wears.
I don't have any spears with me at dinner. This-
They
Ruben
would be
still
with you.
is
Are
wearing
you
his
eating with your
backpack.
campers or with the other counselors? That could be up to you whether like campers eat with the campers or whether this is the time for them to regroup.
I don't know. Like, if it was my choice, I would eat with the campers, but if it was like a cultural thing that I'm supposed to sit with the counselors, I would do that.
I'd say. I mean, I think honestly you could do either. I'm just like trying to think for like some of my like experiences of like not this kind of camp counselor, but as kind of a camp counselor, and I know like just how important like
I had to eat with my
campers and passion.
nuggets when I was a counselor. I had to eat with mine.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
encouraged at least a lot for counselors to eat with their nuggets.
Okay.
Eat with my nuggets.
Alrighty, and then maybe you guys have like regroup.
Are we eating chicken nuggets for real? Is that what's for dinner?
Chicken nuggets seems like a
Probably.
good
Nuggets!
Oh.
I tear my nuggets apart.
like
No,
figuratively
like,
eat
I
them,
don't
or you sit there
shred them.
playing with them.
I don't shred them, I just kind of like pull them apart and like eat it a piece at a time.
That's what it was gonna do. Okay, I'm just gonna eat my nugget.
Oh,
You
no.
start tearing them apart, realize Comp's already tearing them apart, and change tactics.
If Em also does it, I give her a nod like, hell yeah, you know how to eat nuggets. Respect.
You notice that Jennifer just has like kind of a little bit more food than everybody else at the table, but she's kind of like
Oh,
scarfing
I
out.
challenge
Cashing in that lunch money you ran for you welcome to race.
I challenge that she has more food. Actually, if she does have more food, I go back and get more food.
I do have more food than you, yes.
I go back for a second tray, whether or not I'm allowed to or supposed to. And if the food people question me, I'm just like, no, I'm getting this for a friend. I'm getting it for a friend. Yeah.
I'd say it's probably it's Flora dishing out the food as you go back out, and you're like, it's for a friend. She kind of looks around, and she's like, and she like leans and she's like, I know you stole my pizza box.
Flora, the raccoons did it. I found them with it, and I took it from them. I liberated it.
Stay away from those raccoons. You hear me?
What about the raccoons?
I said you stay away from them.
They're so cute, but I will.
And you know, keep running up.
Hell yeah, I get a bunch more food. I intentionally, I don't get as much as I want. I probably get more, but I do it based on how much I saw Jennifer had. I'm like, I can't be showing up at dinner time. I come back with more food.
She looks at you like, hey, if You're not gonna eat all that. Can I eat the rest of it? And she just continues to
I'm
scarf
going to
down.
say the same thing to you, Jennifer. And I stopped tearing it apart because it's too slow. So I'm just like eating a chicken nugget at a time.
Just shotgunning nuggets.
And I'm watching her very competitively to see if she goes back for more, and I immediately stand up to go with her if she does.
Bailee is trying really hard to hide her disgust.
Really, you know, one time I ate like 50 of these or something.
Like if there's anything that's like granola bars or anything wrapped up, Ruben's gonna go back and grab a few extra of those and stick them in his pockets.
There's maybe for dessert there was like oatmeal cookies, a little dry, but good. Those are being more closely monitored as to how many you take. So you can't run off with more cough. Flora sees you come up for like the chicken nuggets, like that slides. You come up for more cookies, that doesn't slide. But Ruben, if you want, that'd probably be the closest, like a granola bar type food at this meal.
Sure.
Jennifer, do you go back for more?
She's getting down to like her last nugget. She's like, It's like, am I still hungry? Or do I think I can probably take his before he can... So she like puts up the last nugget, but then at the same time she like tries to grab like one off of your tray.
I try to stop it. Try to smack her hand away aggressively.
I feel like this should be a roll, but I don't know what this roll should be.
I don't know.
Either.
I am not eating
Bailee is
what's like...
pretending she didn't see that.
Yeah,
Looking
I'll
down
take this
the
for the heck of it. I'll take this around a little bit, but I feel like both of you said you've got crappy charm, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Trump's bad.
Yeah. Well, I think it'd be really fun to make you roll manipulate someone right now, just to see who could get the upper hand on snagging chicken nuggets. So
Okay.
I feel like I'm
probably
breaking the
trying
monster
to-
equals a little bit, but both of y'all roll me a manipulate someone roll, and I'll make something up.
I probably am not trying to like take any of hers. I feel like I probably brought too much, even for me if I was like older. But like, I'm gonna eat these even if it kills me. So I'm gonna try and distract her, just like to slow her down, so that way I still finish first.
Alrighty.
Yeah. But that's my goal. Just feel like, if I heard that guy over there, it was like way stronger than you, like way over there. There's some kid in like the other club. Oh, I rolled really badly. That is a 1 minus 1. So
How do you roll a 1 with 2d6? You can't.
You got 2d6. It's
Yeah,
not
2d6.
possible to roll a one.
You can't roll a
I'm
one,
only
Jay.
D10s for all of this.
No,
No.
that's not how it works.
Okay,
Yes.
damn. I've
2D.
been sandbagging myself this whole time. Now comes my true power. Okay, that's a 6 minus 1, so that's a 5.
Yeah, that's still a failure. And I think we had one mixed success.
I succeeded.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did. I think you did good. You did.
Em is the only one with talent.
That's right, and you all hate her.
Guys.
I
On the
love
plus
Em.
side,
Em
guys.
eats chicken nuggets the same way I do.
I think I sort of succeeded in hitting the target with an improvised spear, and that's about
Yours
it.
was like a moderate success.
Rudy.
On the plus side, guys, the way Monster of the Week works is you get experience every time you fail. So if experience were a thing that I cared about for this one shot, you guys would be doing great. I'm not keeping track of that, so.
I'm not.
No.
I just keep failing into victory.
Fail forward.
What was yours, Jennifer?
I did horrible. I rolled a 2 and I have a negative in the modifier, so I was like, what?
I'm here.
You throw up the chicken nuggets you already ate.
I'll say that you both failed, you both try to distract the other to give you a little bit of an opening, but your distraction ends up taking up your attention simultaneously. So you haven't distracted each other, but you simultaneously distracted yourself while trying to distract the other. And so the general net outcome is you're both just distracted.
Perfect.
I was envisioning they like both try and grab a nugget, and they each take one off the other's tray, so it's a net no gain.
It's like that too, except I have to say he wasn't stealing a nugget.
That's true.
But yeah. So yeah, I'll say dinner wraps up, evening commences. There's some time, hanging out around the campfire. I'd say maybe there's like the big main campfire that the whole camp comes together for a little bit. It's kind of like an end of the day powwow, and then after that, students break up into like maybe the individual cabins have sort of like a smaller campfire outside, so you can hang out in it for a little bit, have kind of a squad powwow before bed. But then after that, wrap up, head to bed. Presumably lights out time. Whether or not you guys are actually sleeping is up to y'all.
Wait, but while we're still at the campfire,
Yeah, campfire's gonna get put out and everything.
No, she wants to do a scene at the campfire.
Oh, you want to? Yeah. If you guys want to do that, yeah. If I ever like skim past something that you guys want to address, like we'll go for it. So yeah,
you go first.
Okay.
I really wanted to teach you guys a new camp song that I thought would be really fun to do. So for this first time, just follow along, and the next time we do it, you guys will know the words and we can all sing together. So this is how it goes. Everyone, please clap your hands and sing along with me. How do you do, camper friends? How do you do? How do you do, camper friends? How do you do? Oh, we can't camp for fun. Fun and hike till summer's gone. How do you do, camper friends? How do you do? Yay! And then afterwards, I don't know, we can like do a group hug. Is what I was thinking. Just like, anyways, like practice that tonight, and then we can try it out for like the morning meeting tomorrow.
I'm already there.
Like really impress the other squads.
I'm immediately in the group hug when it's before anyone else stands up.
Who is in the group hug?
Who did you hug?
Just me and Bailee.
All right.
It's just you, bear hugged around Bailee. Like everyone else hasn't even gotten up yet, I'm assuming.
Yes.
I like transition to a side hug and then kind of swerve out of it. And thank you for your participation.
I catch on to the side hug transition a little too late, but I do catch it. It's just a couple seconds of ooh, he didn't get it. But
so awkward. That's all I needed to do at the campfire.
I'm not sitting at the campfire the whole time. At some point in between sitting, looking at my plate that probably still had chicken nuggets and being full as hell, and looking at Jennifer to seeing if she had finished, and either killing myself with more, not literally, but or like if she left, being like, oh thank God, and like getting rid of the chicken nuggets. I go get my cloak, and I'm gonna be like walking around the campfires and like checking in on each of them. The first week it might have freaked out some kids, but now it's just like this is what he does. Like he darts around in the dark in a cloak at nighttime, and
I think you walk by one cabin as is this before or after the camp? Like
Just during.
did you say this is right after dinner or during the campfires?
this is like during campfire time. Like I was like, for the song, I might have shown up. Like if I was walking by and saw Bailee Sara like stand up and doing something, I'd walk over to that campfire. But I'm probably just like kind of rotating around.
Gotcha. I just like gauging. Okay, I think like at some point like you walk by like one group and like Holly's there and she's like, does Bailee know you're over here?
Holly, Bailee asked me to do this. Okay,
I don't think she did.
it's why we're the better squad, Holly. Like your
if
guys
she's,
don't
like-
have the dedication to protect everyone like me.
Her eyes there, she's like, we're taking your squad down this year.
Who says that?
Holly does.
Holly?
Yeah, her face gets, when you say like we're the security squad, like her face gets super serious. She's like, we're gonna take you down.
Holly, choose any one of your squad members to go one-on-one with me right now in a swordsmanship contest, and I will destroy them.
Like what? No, like
I pull out another
Back to your
stick that's not
cabin.
a spear, but it's more of like a sword. It's got
So
a
you're
little
gonna do, like-
crossguard tied up from the arts and crafts like section. I'm just like, haha.
when you see her like kind of stand, she's like, Bailee, come get your hooligan.
Bailee, I have this handle.
Just sit him over
Send
here.
them out if you won't fight me or
He starts to like kind of shuffle you like off that way.
Very well, Bailee, I'll take this as a win for our squad, and I stick the stick back to my side and pull the hood back up and dart off.
Shaking her head if you want to.
Victory for the squad!
All her kids are like sitting there making like friendship bracelets and they'll match.
Yeah, I do the Breakfast Club fist as I walk off, like, yeah, Chud Nelson. And if the song's over now, I'm like, guys, we totally just took one over Holly's squad. I defended us. They're a bunch of cowards. Just letting you know. But they're challenging us, so we gotta be ready. They might try and prank us, like in Parent Trap, so be ready. And if they come for you in the night, punch them in the face.
Oh, I can do that. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, we should probably strike at them first. Because the first strike in the war is the one that wins the war, so...
That might not always be accurate.
You know, camp activities don't usually involve punching the other campers.
You're right, we shouldn't
The,
punch
the way that we
inflatable mattresses.
the way that we beat their group is by scoring more points in the activities.
Oh, for sure. But are there canoes here?
What does that mean?
Yeah?
I
Okay.
mean, you've seen them.
Okay.
Have you ever been in a canoe before?
Yes. For sure. Not my favorite water vehicle, but yeah. I think we should grab one of the people from M's cabin and then stick him in the canoe.
From my cabin?
Yeah. They'll totally suspect me if it's from my cabin. But if we do it from your cabin, no one will suspect you. They'll never know it came from our squad.
You know Bailey's right here, right?
Shh, Bailey's with this. She supports this. Holly said you were a hoe,
Bailee?
Bailee. I don't know what that word means, but my auntie slapped the last person who said it in our house. So, she said she was
Bailee
jealous.
is not wearing
Bailey, Holly
She's
said she was
uncomfortable.
jealous that you had such a great squad and that she hated you for it. So let us do this for you, Bailee.
Well, I'm sure she said we had a great squad. I'm not sure if you heard the rest of that correctly, but she was absolutely right. We do have the best squad here, and we can prove it by winning in appropriate camp activities.
I'd like to roll charm to convince Bailee that Holly totally called her a hoe. And that this is a moment of pure honesty.
Yeah, we can work out a way to let our charm work like that. So yeah, go ahead and roll and manipulate someone.
I rolled an 8 minus 1, so that's a 7.
Let's see.
It's
None
So
of,
I bet
so
you all, yeah.
that's considered a mixed effect. I'm trying to see like there are like specific rules for like this thing. Someone usually like to convince someone to do something. You're not quite convincing her to do someone.
I just want her to believe that some of what I'm saying is true, and it might be the Holly insulting her part.
Here's what I'll say is you have a feeling none of what he said is probably word for word. However, I will say that maybe there's a little bit of tension between Hall, and so maybe like him saying like it's probably not true, but like also at the same time like Holly.
Holly's a
Like-
boyfriend
Okay.
stealing hoe. Because we all know that.
All right, so maybe my bitterness towards Holly that already exists grows a bit, but I would never show that to the campers, so I just pretend that I don't believe what he said.
Like it. Awesome.
During all this, Jennifer has this little journal thing. You can see it has it has a bunch of tabs. It's super well organized. It's highlighted, and she's just flipping through it, going to certain bookmarked areas and flipping, and then reading a certain section that's been highlighting, and then going back and forth she's trying to do research on something. During all of this.
Jennifer's is a more intriguing character than I pegged her up for first.
And it's gonna be.
Got a book.
That's how you become intriguing. You just have a book. Am is sitting on a log, knees up, arms around them, staring at the woods, the bank of the deep part of the trees. You know.
Oh, I think you meant the fire. You're staring into the
No.
fire.
She's probably like perpendicular to the fire, you know? Parallel.
So Ruben's sitting there with his little multi-tool out, whittling a little piece of wood.
What are you whittling?
He's not really totally sure yet. He's just trying to clean up a piece of wood. It doesn't really look like much yet. He hasn't figured out how he wants to take it.
Also,
What
most
direction?
accurate camp thing. This wood, now that the bark is peeled, will be the most useful tool.
Yeah, basically that's where he's at right now. He's like just finishing getting the bark cleared off. He hasn't actually made it into much
I
yet.
haven't made it.
I present to you my creation, cleaned wood. So yeah, eventually the campfire starts to die down. It's getting to lights out time. Bailee herds you into your cabin as she starts to like put out the fire and make sure that, you know, none of the sparks are gonna catch the woods on fire in the middle of the night, all that jazz.
I got you guys.
Yeah. And you guys settle in for the night. That is presuming that you guys are sleeping or not. Or you
No.
guys sleeping through the
I'm
night?
not
Alrighty.
sleeping.
No.
Alrighty.
I am
No.
also not sleeping tonight.
We are hooligans. We are the rapscallions.
I'm sleeping because it's exhausting being a camp counselor and smiling this
Oh,
much
for
all
sure.
day. So,
That's
Bye.
the most accurate, yeah. Another really accurate thing. The kids have
Ruben
boundless
is
energy. Like,
Planning on sleeping. Ruben is planning on sleeping, but if there's any kind of noises going on, he's probably going to wake up and hear
Are
it.
Ruben and I in the same cabin?
Yeah, I think that
Hell yeah.
I'll say it's probably like it's one cabin, but maybe like a divider running down the middle, like the boys and girls side.
Oh.
Oh shit.
But what?
That's scary.
What, the divider or? Just,
I'm scared.
My character's not a pervert, but I was just like, oh shit, like,
I didn't know I like missed like
no
a-
anime perv is gonna happen. I'm just like, oh dang.
I think it'd be open, like kind of few. I'm like just trying to envision like what I think like a camp cabin would look like. If you guys
Usually
wanted to
girls
open
and
one
boys'
open.
cabins are split up just because of hanging out underwear to dry.
Stop.
It's really awkward for
Rudy,
teens.
stop,
For
stop.
adolescents.
What are you doing? Stop.
Because boys
see.
pretend they don't have any. And
Rudy,
yeah.
stop.
You know, I want for plot's sake, if one of you stakes out, I'd like the others to at least have a chance of noticing. So I'm gonna say these cabins are together.
That's fair. That's fair. Alright.
And that way, then like in like your like quad campfire, it's like right outside of it. So that way, like you guys are kind of like all there in the same area.
That's true. I like that. Yeah.
You can have that. And so it'd be. I'd say like there's room for like more people that could be in this cabin, like maybe a couple more people. But since I haven't brought in any like NPC campers in your squad right now, and I don't really want to start right now, I'll say it's just you guys. Small squad,
Sounds
light
good.
year.
So is it like just our squad in this cabin, or is it
Yeah.
okay? Like each squad has their own cabin,
Yeah.
type thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have to take this choker off. I'm dying.
No, no.
I'm gonna assume, am I in like a separate room on the cabin situation or no?
Yeah, yours would definitely be separate. I'd say it could be up to you whether it's like a separate addendum, like that's still like by or attached to their cabin, or it could be like a separate counselor cabin somewhere else.
I'll say it's probably just like a room coming off of their cabin. That's how all my camps have been.
Yeah, that way you're close enough that they need you, but like you got a little bit of privacy and like space for you to like keep your stuff.
It's a moon for all the werewolves we're gonna run into today.
So
Does the
I
character
think,
actually take off that moon choker? Is that actually what she's wearing?
Yeah, she probably is actually wearing this. I'm envisioning she's wearing the exact outfit I'm in.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Jennifer just kind of glances at it, chuckles a little bit, and then goes back to reading.
She's a werewolf.
Goes back to her book.
I've already figured it out. I've solved the puzzle. She's a werewolf.
It's about to get shady in the girls' cabin.
Oh.
alrighty.
Pieced it
So
together.
yeah, it's
solved the
nighttime.
mystery.
Things like sleeping's not going to happen tonight for at least some of you, so if you guys want to outline, like,
Yeah.
when stuff's happening, do you guys wait a while before do something? Feel me out, like, what the sequence of events is going to be here.
Well,
So
usually...
multiple people sneak in.
Yeah, well, usually the idea is that you wait until the other person falls asleep to sneak out, but if we're all not falling asleep... This is going to be a very difficult...
Ruben is going to bed.
Ruben is asleep.
I talked to Ruben. We don't have to do the conversation. Just about random camp things and about I might really like this girl from another squad. I don't know. She's nothing like Bailee, but also like I don't think Bailee's into it. So I think I'm gonna focus on this girl from the other squad. I do it. I wait for Ruben.
Bailee is a lot older than you.
Ruben, age is just a number. But I wait for Ruben to get like really tired in the conversation before I just say, "All right, like good night, Ruben." Just like to kind of gauge his tiredness and make sure that he's out.
Yeah, Ruben's gonna hop up in bed and lay down.
Right. After Ruben's asleep, I'm gonna take my possession from underneath my bed, and with the cloak, as long as the camp is like quieted down, I'm gonna sneak out and go to the edge of the woods.
I'd say camp is quieted down. You kind of stop, listen, maybe see like a single straggler from one of the camps that like realized they needed to go, need to use the bathroom before they officially settled down. Wait till they get back. And
my cloak is dark blue, so it helps me blend with the night, not the woods, with the night. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, camp's clear if you want to sneak out.
Okay. I'm gonna do that.
Alrighty. So you head just to... Oh, you know what I'll do also? I'll put a pin in what you're doing right now. That way I can, like, try to gauge timing. What's going on over on the girl cabin?
Well, I don't know if Jennifer ever, like, at least appears to be going to sleep. And after I am convinced, we both just stare at each other waiting for the other one to collapse.
There might be ways of you gauging if she's asleep or not.
Yeah, I know. And I'm saying as soon as I convince myself that she's asleep,
Gotcha.
I'm gonna go outside.
Just looking like in the direction of the other, like
Yeah.
I haven't heard the snoring stuff.
Yeah. Once I'm convinced, I'm sneaking out.
I'll say that Jennifer, starts to pretend to go to bed because she totally thinks that Em would probably be the one to sneak out anyway. She's covered in all black. So, like, she just...
Profile.
I'm totally profiling.
Stereotypes.
Jennifer actually has to, she, like, is still reading her book and stuff, and then she finally, like, puts it away wherever she, like, puts it.
What book you reading?
Her mattress or whatever. It's a journal.
Oh, that same book, okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing. And then, like, she actually, like, starts to kind of drift off. Is it... Yeah, I don't know. If it's, like... I guess because if the sun just went down and, like, we could do the camp stuff, it's probably, like, already pretty dark. But she's, like... If she didn't try to sneak out or anything, she would wait until it was, like, way later in the night. So, yeah, she probably...
For the moon to be really visible? Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Got some suspicions.
Is it a new moon? But no, she would probably wait till later, so she might have actually drifted off to sleep.
Yeah, I'd say I like that. I like that. So, like, you're waiting for her to, like, fall asleep, realizing you probably won't go out until later. Nod off a little bit.
I won the standoff.
You won the standoff, yes.
It goes for a while, but eventually you realize that you've won the standoff. If you want to sneak out during this time, you can.
I do a sneak.
Alrighty. So, where are you going to?
Well, when I sneak out, because I imagine Ruben made it out first, I guess. I don't really know. If we're in the same cabin, if I'm also waiting, I don't know how I didn't hear the door open and shut. But, so I don't know. But if I see him outside, I'm not going to him outside. But I'm also going to the...
Ruben went to bed.
I'm sorry, cop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cop.
My bad. I'm so sorry. But also going to go, like, probably sit on the same log she was sitting at before, like, closest to the tree line sitting, much the same position, just staring at the trees.
Cool. And then...
I am a hooded figure, but I'm probably the only kid at this camp who has a cloak and hood, so it's pretty easy to be like, yeah, that's probably that kid.
Yeah, I'd say between, like, hearing the sound of, like, the door possibly open earlier in the night, knowing that you're the kid with the hood, it'd probably be a safe assumption to assume.
I don't really care if you sneak out or what you're doing or the fact that you're alive, but I know you're out there.
Yeah. And then finally, just so I know, like, where everyone's at and, like, timing, Jennifer, when you do wake up, realize that M is not in...
And Cop, don't just put it all on me.
What?
And Cop.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying. Like, if she would, like, look up and was like, oh no, I nodded off, is Emma asleep so I can sneak out? She looked up and specifically sees that you were gone.
If I'm in there at any
Probably
point,
not.
there's problems happening with the camp. And our guidelines.
But yeah, so realize you've nodded off, realize that you are not the first person to sneak out, but it is a good time to sneak out if you'd like to.
Is Ruben still, like, sound asleep?
Yeah.
Just totally knocked out. I'm gonna, is there, like, a window or something?
Yeah, there's a window.
I go through the window.
Go through the window. Alrighty, yeah.
Make it a chat.
Go for it, yeah. Crawling out through that window, and then where are you headed?
Do I see anybody along the forest line?
You see Cop over by the forest line, or specifically you see a cloaked figure that you can probably safely assume is him. That looks like his blue cloak. It doesn't quite blend in with the forest background as well as maybe you thought it would have. So, you can see him.
Okay. I go towards the direction of, like, where Lexi's group talked about finding that whatever that thing was. And I start going, like, that way. But avoiding Cop. I don't know where M is, but,
Yeah. So that would have been, like, up on one of, like, the hiking trails. So were you gonna, like, start going up along one of the hiking trails? It wasn't the same hiking trail that you guys were on, but it's one of, like, a similar level of difficulty. So you're leaving, like, the main camp, but it's not like you're going, like, into the woods.
yeah, I'd probably start going along.
Okay. Yeah.
They're heading.
Out, start heading up that trail, just to regroup back with the other two so you can figure out how long are you guys staying out and doing what you're doing?
I'd like to roll something. I'd like to roll my ability.
Which ability?
Destiny's Plaything.
I think that's what you did that already, right?
It's at the beginning of each mystery.
Yeah, we did that already.
Oh, okay.
That was what I had you roll for before.
Sweet.
Yeah. You got that. So if you'd like to pause and reflect on what you got from that,
Okay.
then you can. But yeah, that was the prior step.
Okay, then I'm just chilling at this wood's edge, considering going into it. As I'm, like, thinking about my dream. I'm basically sitting here with my possession, like, not remembering in the dream whether or not I had something on me aside from the flashlight. Just kind of inviting a challenge and also just trying to put myself at ease. Since, like, lucid dreaming, I can only control so much. My reality, I can control more. And then if nothing comes at me, I'm gonna go to bed in, like, an hour or something.
Let you sit there and kind of meditatively pondering the woods. Em, are you also, how long are you planning on staying out? What all are you doing?
I'm just staring at the woods, just trying to reflect because something's real weird. And this is the only moment I feel use you.
Oh, okay.
Truly at peace. And I'm gonna stay as long as I can until, like, I start nodding off on the log, and then I will pick myself up and make myself go back inside. Reluctantly.
Oh, so I've got you two out there. I also realized that, like, I have a new soundtrack, if you guys want to swap soundtracks again. This way, if we're wandering around at night, we don't have children's voices talking. with all the other.
Oh god, that would be horrifying.
If that chuckle plays again, though, I'll be like, sad and devious person.
See, truth of the matter is none of the captains are sleeping. Ruben is literally the only kid in bed right now. You've seen like camp movies, they always sneak out.
That's true.
Oh.
I think at midnight, I think I'm gonna say something, but until midnight comes,
Okay, let's see. Well, you guys are there. I still got some stuff that I'm gonna do with you two at camp in a little bit, so I'm gonna let you guys be chilling there, though.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Another thing I'm gonna try to do, I don't really know how this all works, but like as I'm trying to like focus in on the woods and I'm gonna like hold out a hand and like try to connect to that weird like sensation and feeling that I felt when the memory thing happened, and trying to understand what was happening and try also not to panic. Try to figure it out.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back to you on what happens with that.
Cool.
That way I can like
Now
line
I can
everything up
chips.
in a fun way. Got all these people out here running into things. But I am gonna jump to Jennifer.
No.
So Jennifer,
Oh.
you take off just wander up the path, start heading off along the trail. I'd say like the moon is out. I don't know if it would be necessarily full or not, but enough.
Doesn't matter.
That you can like see by.
Does it need to be full?
Enough light that you can like at least see by when you're on like the main trail itself. It's high enough up that you can navigate, and you follow the trail up. It's maybe one that you've been on before, either with the group or maybe you went running there. You're relatively familiar with that. As you're looking around, you said you're looking specifically for where Lexi and Martha like fell and got hurt. Okay. Yeah, I'd say because it's just going to be right off the trail. You eventually do come to an area, like one of the spots where it gets a little more zigzaggy, a little more cliffy. You see a bit of dirt scraped up a bit, a few bushes that look a little bit smushed off to the side, and you realize this is probably where the people, like probably where they fell off the edge there. Just looking at the area, it's like a little bit like almost like a slight bit of a clearing, like not really a full clearing, but enough like to get just off the path, to be like surrounded by like kind of trees on one side, a little bit of the cliff, maybe over like a little bit of overlook. Again, it's not like a cliff, it's a bit of a sharp incline. Would be probably difficult to scramble up and down, but not impossible to scramble up and down. But you could easily see how if you lost your footing and weren't paying attention and went down this, it's easy to tumble. And then past the rocky crag, you can see the just the bushes and brush and disappearing off into the forest.
Do I notice anything unusual beyond just it looked like somebody fell here? Do I notice any tracks of any sort of animal, scrapes, or something heavy was moved? Is this a investigate mystery type of thing?
That's what I'm thinking it should be. I'm thinking we should probably get into investigate a mystery. If you want to go ahead and roll investigate mystery for me.
Okay. The dice. So I'm gonna pull up the dice roller. 2, 6. Okay. It's 10. Yeah, I don't have anything to sharp. Is that what we add?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a 0 right now.
Cool.
Okay, yeah. That's
10's good though. That's considered a complete success. You're in the highest tier, so you should have a list of questions under investigate a mystery. It might be on the next page. And you may ask me 2 questions off of that.
I guess I'll ask what happened here. And another question. Where did it go?
Good questions.
Okay.
Family Feud style. Good question. Good question.
Thanks to you that I hear in my head.
Tell us, Arden.
Alright. Let's see. I'll start with... I'm trying to think like the best way and what would you be able to see in this area. So are you staying up at the top of the cliff, or you don't want to go down? Because I think you realize that like what happened here was very immediate, obvious. Someone fell off a cliff. You're not really getting a whole lot from the upper area. Do you want to go down to the like you want to scramble down the cliff and like see more? You'll probably be able to get more information down there.
I feel confident in my physical ability, so yes, I will go down.
Alright. So yeah, so you scramble down and you can see that what happened here is like someone fell off the cliff, more specifically they fell off the cliff and like back away into the brush. You realize that that the brush is like kind of tamped down and messed with, like actually quite a good ways further back than you might have originally seen. It almost looks as if like she fell, but then maybe like either backed up or potentially got like pulled back a little bit. What else did you ask? Where did it go? I think it's a tricky one to answer off of this because like right now it's hard to see like what it was besides presumably like Martha, who you know that she came up off the cliff, and to I guess like the squirrel, which you know if it's a squirrel ran off, we don't really see too terribly. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take that back. You do see a squirrel.
Oh god.
And like you look up and you realize like, oh, it's the squirrel. It does kind of look like it's watching you, and where it went, you know, I mean, presumably it's running around a little bit, but right now where it currently is, it's like a little bit deeper into the shadows.
Like, squirrels are nocturnal, are they?
And I'm gonna pause with you there for a moment, and I'm gonna jump back over to the other group.
Okay.
Let's see. I'll go with M. You said
Jennifer's
M,
about
you
to
were
die to a squirrel.
Bad squirrel.
Enjoy this. What? What's
Yeah. You said M. You're trying to like reach out your consciousness to
whatever's been going on in my head.
whatever's been going on in your head. Okay.
Yep.
I see what moves I gave you.
Phew.
Yep.
Probably.
Why do I feel these emotions?
I feel no emotions. I'm dead inside.
Why do I feel no emotions?
Where'd my emotions go? Oh no.
Puberty.
Alright.
Okay, sorry.
Alright, so
So this is how you know I'm in mode. The sleeves are.
yeah. I'm gonna say, so you're kind of like sitting on the edge and you're kind of like feeling out. Because I will say, like, you know, you've like been picking up weird stuff from people like before. Definitely your encounter with Martha earlier today was probably like the most vividly explicit, like you tapped into a memory. Like this wasn't just like, oh, like she's saying mad, but like how do I know she was mad? Or like a flash that maybe was just your imagination. Like something happened earlier today that like was you reaching out past like your own consciousness. And I think you're starting to realize like that perhaps that's what's been happening. So you sit here and like you're trying to really like reach out your consciousness again, not necessarily to a particular person, because you know as far as you are aware, aside from Cop back over on the other side of the tree line, there's not really anyone else here to particularly tap in, but you do just kind of generally reach out. And I think this would be a good time to use your move Hunches. This one that I gave you, right?
Yeah.
You go ahead and roll that for me.
Oh god, let me move this book out of the way before I throw everything to the ground. Not great. Ooh. 5. Which is a
Alrighty.
miss. Which is an utter failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, not necessarily like utter failure. Like, I mean, technically, yeah, it's considered a miss. It's a miss, not a failure.
Reading the rest of that sentence sounds scary.
Yeah, I'd say like you kind of reach out and you feel something. It doesn't quite feel like a person, but it does feel like perhaps almost a consciousness. And you realize that like it does feel like the very tail end of what you were getting from Martha right before like she moved and jolted you and startled you out of tapping into her mind. So that's what you feel, and you feel it like kind of tugging like into the woods. So whatever it is, it's somewhere deep in the woods, and you do feel like you could almost feel like it takes you a moment to just feel like, oh, a presence in the woods, but the more you like kind of feel at it, the more you like open yourself up to like reach out, like kind of like figure out like what is that. You do feel kind of like a thread tugging in a particular direction that you can follow.
Wasn't I terrified of this though before?
It was weird. I'd say that it was like kind of a brief moment that like it was unexpected, so it could be like maybe unsettling and like what happened, like perhaps you got cut off. I can't imagine like you would have that memory and be like, oh yeah, like that's definitely totally good.
Not a concern.
But like not enough to like scare you up.
Okay.
Like if anything, maybe there's a little bit of an intrigue.
Okay. I'm going to, well, I really want to figure out what's going on in the old noggin. So I'm
You're
gonna,
gonna start following it. And
God, I'm gonna die. But I'm a 13-year-old, so yes, I'm gonna follow it.
Alright, you start following into the woods. Alright, and then let's jump over to the pool. You are kind of over there, what were you, meditating? Watching the woods, trying to feel for something, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd say you've been there for a bit. You're kind of meditating. You're focusing on the woods, and you hear voices that sound like.
Oh, enough. You go.
Yeah. Throw me off the game, Jake.
My poor childhood sanity.
But you rapidly realize they're not disembodied voices. These are voices you recognize. These are the voices, they're coming over from not your cabin, but a different cabin, and you realize that it is the voices of Martha and Lexi. And they sound like arguing, maybe not like a full-out fight, but maybe some sort of disagreement, kind of standing like just outside their cabin. You can see Martha kind of like, hey, come on, it'll only be like a few minutes, I just want to show you this. You can see Lexi like, I don't know, like, we're not supposed to be out here. You kind of like see them kind of have this discussion over on just past their cabin.
I was gonna say, I notice. I was like, I feel like I would maybe notice them, but no. If I hear voices, not disembodied voices, but people voices, I'm probably gonna turn and just be like,
Also, M is dressed like a shadow.
yeah, I know. I was like, if it wasn't dressed.
You can't even see me in the video camera right now.
Invisible.
Because one of the things I am good at is protecting people. And I was gonna make a joke about my peripherals. I feel like Bailee's words come to me. Which one is trying to get the other one to go?
Martha is trying to convince Lexi to I guess, like, go see something.
And Martha's the one that got, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And do I have a good relationship with either of them? I know we were kind of memeing earlier, but like... in this week of camp...
I'd say that could be up to you. You know them. Maybe you're not, like, close to them. But you're probably, like, it's not that big of a camp that you wouldn't, like, know anyone. And maybe you've had, like, a camp activity before with them.
Okay. So, yeah.
Maybe whatever Aiden transferred you into after archery you had was, like,
okay. Sounds good. Okay, so I am going to walk up, pull back the hood, and just be like, hey, guys. It's,
like, just like, oh, hey, you're speaking up too?
Yeah. I thought you guys could use some... I've just been protecting camp.
Do like you like from I guess but like do like from the squirrel? I would never say that. No.
I'm gonna have my camper. I'm gonna have my deep 13-year-old moment, and just be like, I've been having nightmares about something bad happening. I wanted to make sure everybody stayed safe.
And you like, I'd say like Lexi's like, before something bad's gonna happen, Martha wants to sneak off into the woods in the middle of the night. You're gonna get caught. We're gonna be in trouble.
Ambiance.
Nice. Why do you want to go into the woods?
There's something really cool in the woods that I want to show you, but like I don't want to give away the surprise.
Do you want to?
Like, it won't
Can I come too?
Absolutely.
How about this then? We should go. And if we do get caught or get in trouble, I'll just convince them it was my idea. Baden already doesn't like me, and so he'll probably buy that.
I'll say, give me a manipulate one, and to like try to convince. I'd say like Martha, you can tell is like already becoming, like she's finally becoming, but to see if
This is
you
for
can convince
Lexi?
yeah, to see if you can convince Lexi to come with you.
Is there an advantage mechanic because Martha's helping me?
No.
Oh, I'm not good at manipulating.
There's a help action, but I think that's just for
Us.
player characters.
Yeah, someone else would have to be there.
That is a 4 and a 1 minus 1, so it's just a 4. I'm not good at manipulating people.
Or rolling.
Oh, roll. That's cool too. Look at my buff.
Today.
Yeah, I don't have the DM powers flowing through my veins. Yeah, that's
I'd say,
a 4.
trying to manipulate someone. And I'm gonna say, like, Lexi says, like, you're gonna protect us with what? That stick you were throwing around earlier? Like, we're running off to the woods in the middle of the night is stupid. I'm not doing that. If you guys want to go get yourself lost, fine. And she's gonna...
Do I think Lexi is a narc?
I'd say... What would you know about Lexi? I'd say probably not. I'd say the way she's saying it is like, if you guys want to go off to the woods, fine, but I'm not coming with you.
Right.
And she's close enough friends with Martha that like she doesn't want Martha to get in trouble. Like one of her big worries is like getting in trouble. So like her turning her friend in is gonna be kind of counterintuitive to that.
So I need you to be my grandma real quick. My
Yeah.
character's grandma.
Okay, I'm your grandma.
Would grandma
Easy.
have ever told me to trust people I was trying to protect, or like to keep my personal belongings secret, and except for moments of danger? Because I'm either gonna pull an Elrond, or I'm like, this is no mere stick, and then pull my cloak back, or I'm just gonna be like, yo, whatever, loser. Like, but I'm not gonna call her a loser. I'm actually mean. Except to Holly, that punk. She would say it's not honor.
Say, you think back to stories your grandmother told you. There may be even like multiple stories that your grandma told you. And you think about some where, you know, the classic, like, the hero is saving, you know, the innocent victim, or like, you know, always be prepared. Like, there's definitely a lot of stories you recall of like that heroic moment of like, oh, I'm here to protect you, like today is safe because, you know, I'm here. But there was also the occasional stories that you told of someone that you thought you could trust, you couldn't trust. And, you know, stories of like people getting stabbed in the back, you know, metaphorically and literally, depending on what particular story. So I'd say that like there's underlying tones of help people, but also sometimes you need to be cautious. Take that as you will.
Thank you, Grandma. And now I need to know, for a 13-year-old's perspective, how attractive is Lexi for a 13-year-old boy? Because if it's...
That's how you tell trustworthiness.
He's gonna take Grandma's advice and his hormones advice. I gotta know.
I just feel like this is something that should be up to you. Like, do you
no.
find Martha attractive or not?
What's
I'm
he
gonna
look
let all
like?
that be in your bag.
I'm gonna roll. I don't know how attractive Martha is, but how attractive he thinks Martha and Lisa, between the two, of which one he has a bigger crush on. Yeah. He does think Martha's really attractive. Okay. I just did even and odd for one has an odd number of letters, I think. Martha might actually be even as well. But, Martha, if I had something more than just a stick to protect you, would you come with us?
Wait, are you talking to Martha or Lexi? Martha's the one who wants you to go.
Martha's already there.
Oh, never mind then. Yeah, Lexi can go. Yeah, never mind. That makes it easier.
Yeah, Lexi's already decided she's not going, and I'd say with a 4, if it was a mixed success, there's like part of the mechanism is if you can convince them, then they'll do it. But this was a full-on failure. She's already started.
Okay. Then I'm good to just go with Martha then.
Yeah.
Martha is the lady who I will defend.
Cool. And she kind of like looks at you like all ready to go. Like, I mean, don't need it. Like, it's fine. I'm gonna like show you this cool thing I found earlier. But
The woods are dangerous at night, Martha.
sure. And like kind of wanders into the woods. And I presume you follow her.
I do.
All right. And so just to tap in, because I know we kind of like followed with them, Bailee and Ruben, like, do you want to just like continue being asleep? Do you think it would make sense for you to have woken up at any point?
They're secretly dating.
Controversy.
So
I would
it's
still be
not
asleep.
good.
Okay, that's it. Like, I don't know if you've like set an alarm for
Acted on
midnight,
by-
but sneak out.
I would say Ruben's a fairly
That's
light
like
sleeper,
really-
so if anyone does anything that's going to make very much noise, he's probably going to wake up and hear it and go check it out. But if that hasn't happened, then he's probably still asleep.
3 people have snuck out at this point, so.
Well,
One climbed through a window.
He comes in and be like, okay, are they actually asleep? And they're all gone. Except Ruben to be like, oh.
I
They're
think
doing
you
the
guys
plan.
are like I need to get in on this action and like be here for these things if you think it would make sense. I just don't want you guys to like, oh, we're sleeping.
Technically, I did
I mean,
announce
like,
in front of
realistically,
Elizabeth that we were going to prank another cabin.
I would still be asleep though. Like as much as I want to just like jump up and be like they're gone. Like I would still be asleep at this point.
Yeah, that's totally fair and valid, and yeah.
Invalid.
Throw that out there just in case. Maybe if things go louder, I'll bring you back in. But for the moment,
We're deep in the woods. We don't need an adult.
Yeah, because like if Ruben wakes up and sees everyone gone, he's definitely going to run grab Bailee.
Nope. Ruben, good guy.
I'll say that in case we need that. But for the moment, I'll say you guys are both still asleep as the woods wander in. So I think like best on timing. Right. Let's say. Check with me really fast what your move was since you got the failure.
Mine.
Yeah.
Just after the bad stuff.
Yeah. All right.
Just enough to
so
get in
let's
trouble
back
myself.
Let's get back to Jennifer.
Yeah.
So you look up and your question was what happened here. So Martha fell. You can see some rocks, maybe a few flecks of blood, red blood on them where she probably banged up her leg. And you notice that like probably went back into the brush, very heavily shadowed, but you're not sure like like the shadows are very deep and like you realize like it got dark this area gets dark very fast, and like where you're at you can like the immediate area you can still see like oh yeah this is probably where she was, but you realize that like the shadows get dark past this very fast, and kind of just on the cusp edge of that shadows you see probably a very large, because it was a fox squirrel, a very large fox squirrel, kind of standing there staring at you. maybe more intently than your average squirrel, I'd say. But, then again, it could just be the night getting to you. What are you doing?
Pretty sure squirrels should be sleeping right now, so that's a little unusual. Imagine that's exactly what it's doing, Jake.
That's a human bone it's munching on.
It's Martha's bone.
It's a piece of Martha's flesh.
She didn't realize her bone was gone, I don't know.
Oh no!
Life, really, her whole life's gone.
It nibbled so fast, she just didn't realize.
The director, casts a spell on her and, makes her think the leg's back. Anyway. For some reason, she's immediately thinking back to, the stories her grandfather told her about, being in the woods and, surviving and stuff, because she's like, this is a little unusual, there shouldn't be a squirrel that's awake, so she kind of ignores the stories. She's kind of ignoring the stories of, what her brothers told her when they went to the camp a few years ago, and then, what her parents said. She immediately thinks back to, what her grandfather said about surviving, and it's kind of this is a little weird. I'm gonna, move kind of away, back up the cliff and see, I don't know, is the squirrel doing anything? Is it, intently staring me in the eyes? Is there, something else that's moving in the shadows? Can I tell if there's other animals? Just anything overly eerie. Because, normally even at night you hear, bugs or something, or owls or other things shifting.
Frogs
is it just dead
screaming.
quiet? Or is it, sound like normal woods at night?
Yeah, I'd say so. You come back up to top area, kind of looking around, trying to gauge what's going on, and you're listening. You hear, crickets chirping, the occasional owl, your various standard night sounds. Nothing particularly out of the ordinary, and then you do catch the sound of crunch, grind, something kind of rustling through leaves. It sounds like something large is moving towards through the woods towards you, and out step Cop and Martha, and you can see Martha yeah, she's just over here, and you kind of have the moment of oh no, so it's about to come out. It's just the two of them have come out.
Okay.
And they're suddenly standing oh hey, and you kind of glance back at what you were looking at down below, and you see the squirrel kind of hop and skitter away.
They fear my coming.
Right out there.
Does it with the squirrel? Does it go back into the shadowy part?
It darts off into the woods, into the shadows, and the side of it.
Okay. Oh, hey, what's up, you two?
I'm trying to think if this would startle me. Are you behind me when you say this, or are you ahead of me?
I think I would be
She's
ahead of y'all.
She's
yeah,
down
basically, you have just arrived where she is at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was I'm either gonna spin and strike or be yo, what up? Okay.
No, you guys literally just stumble upon her, and Martha's oh hey, you're out here too.
My hand goes to my side, something obscured by my cloak. I'm just oh, hey, what's up, Jennifer?
Jennifer totally notices that. She's oh, hey, Cop. What are you were you and Martha interested?
Martha was showing me something.
Oh, okay.
Right, Martha?
Yeah, I heard your story earlier, so I was just interested in coming out here and seeing, what exactly happened. But now that you're here, I guess you can kind of explain.
Yeah, no, that's exactly that's what I was bringing Cop out here to show. I saw something neat when I was down here earlier. Wanted to show somebody. And she starts scrambling down the cliff. You notice pretty ignoring any. It's by this point she's scrambling down the leg. You'd think being beat up and sore from falling down doesn't seem to be slowing her down as she's crawling down. So that just seems very determined to get down here, looking back, making sure yeah, just down here, follow me.
I think that's a little unusual, so I'm gonna kind of back off a little from her, and then kind of pay attention to the shadows. Where is she going? Into the more dark, shadowy part?
Yes.
I follow straight after her.
Cool.
I try
I'm glad
sliding down, looking cool, like down the side slide, unless it's really steep down the cliff. Just be like, dun, 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 dun.
Cool. I see Cop just like dart in. I go in too, but I go in like a little bit more slowly. Like I can still see them pretty well, but like I'm kind of like looking behind us, like looking to the side, trying to just be like more aware, but keeping them definitely like I'm in within their range, but just sort of like being a little bit more cautious than he is.
If it gets really dark, Cop is gonna. I'll be like, Martha, maybe we should hold hands or something. It's really dark here. I can't
I'll
hold.
say, in
I
this
can only hold your hand
moment,
with my left hand, though.
yeah, in this moment, I'll say she scrambled down a bit before you did. So she's like a few paces ahead, kind of like staying like just on the edge of where the shadows get like really dark. And it's like, yeah, like just come here. You're kind of like following her along. I'll say, I don't want necessarily everyone to roll this, but it seems like Jennifer, you're being the most cautious and observant of all of this. So I'm going to ask you to read a bad situation.
Alright. So I just keep the same roll. See if I add anything there. Or is that
Sharp.
Also, I do want to like
Sharp,
throw out
okay, I
a
don't have anything.
in case it comes relevant, because I know we've had like a lot of fails, but it's also been like a lot of fails on just like stuff that like didn't really matter. There is a mechanism within this where if you ever do roll a failure, or even like a partial success, if you roll something and it's not a complete success, you can use a luck point. And that luck point lets you boost it up to a complete success.
Sarah's a good DM because she did not tell us before I could use it stupidly.
You don't want you wasting your luck.
I used
You
my
don't want
luck.
Because once you're out, the keeper can hit
Yeah,
you
how
with
many
more
luck
of
points
that.
do we have?
I
It will be pulled.
have 4.
Yeah, everyone should have 4. If you don't have 4, then like I forgot to fix it, but I'm pretty sure you should all have 1. So basically, the way it works is in like regular, you would have more, but that's like to be spread across like an entire campaign. Since this is a one shot, I wanted to drop it down a little bit because the whole goal is you don't want to burn through your luck because once you run out of luck, like that's it. Like if you have like a long running campaign, you
When
can
luck runs out,
space your luck out
bad
and
things
be
happen to
doing
you.
fine. But once you're out, bad stuff is happening.
Okay.
And I didn't want to, give you guys too much of it, but also wanted you to like have some to be able to use should things appear.
What is ongoing?
So ongoing means future rolls that you do. So if there was like another roll that came up, and it's somehow relevant, like let me see, is it? Yeah. So the first one ongoing. So if you ask me these questions, I give you information about this. And if you utilize that information and you have to make a roll for something, you can get just an extra +1 on top of whatever other modifiers you would have.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that +1 just keeps going as long as it's still relevant, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So I rolled a 1 and then a 6, so I got a total of a 7. I don't have a modifier.
So you have 1 hold, so you can ask one of those questions.
Oh, God. All good questions. Let's find out.
Every bone in my body is ready for whatever's gonna go down. Bring it on, giant squirrel.
Torn between 2 questions.
As she decides, I will also
If you're not
say,
sure on which questions, you can like tell me what they are, and I can like help you work through which ones would probably be more applicable to the situation.
I keep
Okay,
my
it's
right
just-
hand wrapped up.
I was gonna say, like, what's my best way out, which I think is relevant in anything, or are there any dangers we haven't noticed, is what I'm torn to. But I guess I've kind of already done that one.
No, I'd say dangers we haven't noticed is probably the better one right now. Especially because like stuff shifted. Yeah, I want to be helpful. Like this is a new situation, and like I think like right now, like best way out, you're on the top. You can just run. Like you got an obvious out right now.
It's the spirit of the woods. It's talking to you.
Yep, the spirit of the woods.
You need to listen
It's
to
okay.
it.
My grandfather is giving me this advice.
He's out here on a camping trip. He's like the tree, like, hey.
I've been attacking little girls.
All right, so what dangers we haven't noticed? So you're standing there watching Martha, like standing at the edge of these shadows. You see Cop basically, like, honestly blindly, like, following her in, more or less. Yeah. And you see she's, like, standing right on the cusp of where, like, the shadows get darker. And as you watch, you notice the shadows, like, shift a bit. And you think it's, like, the trees moving, like, causing, like, where the shadow line is to adjust. But there's no wind. Like, you look and the trees are not moving enough to merit this level of movement. And as you watch, you notice they're not moving back and forth. They're just steadily, like, creeping out, like tendrils, slowly starting to reach towards, specifically Cop, as he's, like, getting really close to that edge with Martha. She's, like, kind of gently stepping back into the deeper part of the shadows. What do you do?
I am going to call out to Cop and be like, "Hey, Cop, I need your help with something over here. I'm gonna, like, pretend, like, I don't know, I'm gonna, like, trip or something. Be like, Cop, I think I hurt myself. Like, I need your help over here." And just to kind of,
That's
I'm,
enough.
like, on the ground, and I'm like, "Hey, man, like," I don't know.
That's enough for me to come back, especially because it can be another moment of superiority since I possibly lost the chicken nugget earlier.
Just gonna spread a little bit and, like, fake needing help.
Okay. Yeah, I turned back, like, I turned away from Martha real quick and just like, oh, like, you can hurt. I'm gonna reach out at my right hand, which is wrapped up with bandages. They're not actually bandages. They're other buffs wrapped around my hand to look like bandages.
She reaches out her hand. "Hey, thanks, Cop. I was gonna say, too, I think I saw something cool kind of up here. Like, I'm not sure where Martha's taking us, but, like, there was something, like, kind of around the corner, and I wanted you to check it out and see what that could have been."
Oh, dang. Well, Cop's really attracted to Martha, so this is a crisis of, this is a crossroads of
Like, this will just
character.
be a moment, and then we can, like, go check out whatever you wanted to see, too. So, like, it's right here, guys. She's kind of, like, trying to egg you on.
Cop has to decide between two women.
She's not a woman. She's a
I
wolf.
kind of reach the call to Martha and be like, "Well, kind of explain to me what it is. Like, what did you see? I mean, you just kind of fell down this cliff and you weren't down here." Oh, God.
She says, "Come
Are
down
y'all
here."
still there? Oh, sorry. I thought I closed Discord. I'm sorry.
She just kind of
Yeah, like-
stands there, like, almost a little bit eerily still at the edge of these shadows. Like, just come down here and see it.
Am I picking up on any of the eeriness? I would.
I
No,
think
I
that
take
at
it back.
this point, oh, okay. I think at this point maybe you could start to pick up on it.
I kind of, like...
I'm already she's acting weird, but I'm like, yo, Martha, it's okay, I still like you. Like, I'm just, Jennifer
I
needs me
kind
to
of,
help
like,
her out.
grab... Like, I don't grab it, but I'm kind of like, "Hey, Cop, like, come on, man. Like, pay attention. Like, hey," and then I kind of whisper, like, gesture, like, "Hey, Cop, come on." And then I kind of call back out to Martha and be like, "Well, I mean, you weren't down here for very long, so, like, how would you even know if there's something down here? Like, I saw where you fell. You just fell, like, right here. So, like, what's over there?"
I will say, let's see, what would be a good time to bring in?
Does he say something? I'm just like, I said I would protect Jennifer. I can't leave her now.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm gonna paint the picture here. So I'm gonna say we've got Martha kind of, like, standing right, like, at the cusp edge of the woods, or, like, right at the edge of the shadows. So you can tell, like, creeping in a really weird way. Like, those shadows do not seem normal. Cop, who's maybe starting to pick up on, like, some tension here between the two of them, but maybe doesn't, like, get to the full extent of what's going on.
Yeah, sounds right.
But is, like, kind of standing, like, more or less in between. You're, like, kind of just at, like, the little cliff face, Jennifer. And I will say that this is a good moment for, I'll say this is a good moment for M to go ahead and, like, you've been moving through the woods, you've been feeling this pool, kind of stumbling through, and you stumble upon, like, right in the middle of this, like, like, tension, like, almost, like, not quite breaking it, but you kind of, like, stumble out and you see, standing in front of you, Martha at the edge of the tree line, Jennifer like kind of nearby the cliff, and standing like a little bit like in between them, looking a little bit unsure.
What are you guys doing here?
Wait, so explain where M is again.
You are so like
woman, unsure of what to do.
I'd say you're like the like cliff face. You're kind of scrambling up, and then maybe like we're kind of scrambling a little bit down to like try to like bring Hop back. So you're like halfway up a cliff face, or again cliff incline.
No, me. She wanted to know where I am.
Oh, M, yeah. M is something out of the woods. I'd say she's falling.
I wasn't coming down the path.
Yeah, you weren't coming down the path. You were taking a more direct route, I'd say. So you've just like stumbled out of the woods, but not the same like chunk of woods with the really weird dark shadows.
Thank God. Do I notice the really weird dark shadows?
That'd be creepy as hell. I'm just like, what's up? Steps out of the shadow.
I'd say
It looks really well because I'm wearing all black. See?
That consciousness, it's feeling like stronger and stronger as you're following it, and you realize like you feel like you're getting close to being somewhere and like at it. And right as you stumble out to this mix, at which point you know, you kind of take it in for a moment of like, oh, what's going on? Didn't expect to see them there. Still feeling that consciousness. And I will say that all of you see the tendrils. Like if you hadn't noticed them before, you realize the shadowy tendrils kind of like surge forward, specifically reaching out at Top. Like not like you've got a moment, but like they're definitely like reaching out towards him. Like this has gone from like, oh, they're there, are they moving in or not, to like you see them like steadily like moving forward at him.
Okay, I try to like grab Cap and I do my best to try to be like, come on, like, oh, come on, man, let's go. And I try to like my best to like yank him up and like go up the cliff.
As you grab for me, you grab my cloak, which I shrugged from my shoulders. And I'm just waiting forward with the sword of my grandmother. These tendrils as they come for me. Not a stick, but a legit sword.
Oh my god.
I have this
Whole
whole
picture
time.
here. Describe this sword.
Let me describe this sword. That is my actions table. Okay.
And like this is like visual, which I didn't like really put a whole lot on there. The table is more like the logistics of using it.
I didn't want to ignore anything you put on there, but okay. This is a sword with a white ivory handle. It's got a polished either tin or silver, who knows which, probably steel, but it looks like silver in the dark night as the moon shines upon it. The hilt is ornamental a little bit, but it looks aged as though it's seen many a battle. It's got two blue sapphires set into the hilt, the handguard, and the sheath is already like kind of held in the other hand on my left side, while I draw with my hand that's covered in the buffs to make it look as though it's a bandage, which is literally just a Chunibu anime thing where I'm just like, my right arm is stronger. The blade itself shines forward in the darkness like a spike of ice, and I swing at the darkness.
Alright. I'm gonna have you
Anime intro scene successful.
you bring out your blade, start swinging it. Go ahead and roll to kick some ass.
Kick
Okay.
that
My
ass.
roll to what?
Kick that ass.
Kick some ass, okay.
It's tough.
These are 2d6, right? Before I roll something
Yeah.
wrong.
Everything is 2d6.
everything is 2d6.
Okay.
My dice.
Oh
back.
wow, my best roll. I rolled an 11 by itself, plus 2 tough, so that's a 13.
Very, very nice. So
Hey!
you get to do. Okay, so the way that fighting works, because it works different from D&D, is if you get high enough to like reach a hit, you will inflict damage, and like you should have a damage rating on your sword.
Yep.
However, I do not roll any dice. Any damage that the monster does to you is as a response to you like doing damage. So this thing will be coming after you. However, since you got over a 10,
You gotta choose
you
something.
have extra effects. So there is a list. I'll just go ahead and read it out just for like general knowledge of potential battles. You can gain the advantage, take a +1 forward, or give +1 forward to another hunter. You can inflict terrible harm and add an additional +1. You can suffer less harm, so whatever it would be damaging to you, you can like take a -1 to that. Or you can force them where you want them, and so move them around. However, before we also get into this battle, just to make things clear that so you guys don't like charge into something that will kill you, as part of the mechanisms of Monster of the Week, attacking something, if you don't know what it is and therefore don't know how to plan for weaknesses or like structure and strategy, you will not be able to kill this. Like charging in here and thinking like this is a D&D fight, time to roll initiative.
We just gotta deal damage until it stops moving.
What the hell this thing is? I'm not.
Yeah. Well, just keep in mind that at this first contact, like we're kind of in combat, but do not expect that you will like defeat this monster in this area. Like, you know, not to keep things metagaming too much, but I just want to like announce the rules since this is a new system. And I know sometimes like things that we're used to doing in D&D might not apply well here. And then also to say that like in the midst of this, like kicking ass is not the only thing you can do. If there's like other moves that like would make more sense, like involved in the situation, like also a lot of those might leave you less open to be damaged. You do deal some damage.
Yeah, sorry. My plan was to strike at him, and I'm gonna give that +1 to Jenny, and just like yell for her to grab Martha so that way we can hightail it out. And I also misdescribed the sword a little bit. It's two-handed apparently.
That just doesn't mean, yeah. So you holding it tight in both grips, yeah.
Yeah, scabbard's and still attached to me somehow on my body.
That works. Yeah, I like it. So you take a swing, you deal. How much damage is your sword, by the way? Just to get a gauge of like. There is still a reaction, like you don't do nothing to it because you don't have a strategy.
It has +2 harm.
It's pretty good.
Nice.
It's good harm.
So yeah, I'd say you swipe through like this tendril, and it reacts weird. Like there's definitely a resistance, like something there. However, it's not as simple as striking like a full solid object. You don't slice off any of the tendril, but you do notice that it like breaks a bit and then like reabsorbs back into itself. But does start to like retreat back a little bit, starting to like draw like where it had been reaching out. Suddenly it stopped reaching out and it's starting to like shrink back in, and Martha's like taking a step back into the woods with it.
She's
What are you doing?
Martha or not Martha, M or Jennifer.
So trying to decide which one I would react to first. So the darkness thingy in my brain that was like that I wasn't really scared of, that I was kind of following. Is it the creature? Can I tell?
Presumably, yeah.
Well, I don't know if I hate the creature then. Can I tell that if Martha's being all weird?
Martha is currently back, like very silent, like standing kind of strangely, and is like backing up into these dark woods. We're following these tendrils that are like it just reached out and basically like tried to attack someone. I'd say it's safe to assume she's acting weird.
Okay.
I have a question. I don't want to sound inappropriate, but is she impressed? Like, is she shocked or impressed at all by my sword, or is she just like, oh, sure, whatever? Not because I'm like, oh, I'm cool, but like, if she thinks that's normal right now, I immediately am gonna be like, she's weird.
I'd say she's gone almost blank, not like completely like shut down or anything, but like she's not acting like she's not particularly responding to anything. Not in like, oh, she didn't notice or anything, but like her
she's
focus
not
is on
responding to my
something.
advances. She obviously.
You should be used to that.
She's just sort of like almost like.
Well, okay.
Maybe you saw her flinch ever so slightly when you like swung down on the tendril thing, but she just sort of like retreating into the dark, like steadily backwards, and then like, but you can't really make out a lot more of her face. But she's not freaking out to all this going on, which in and of itself is
weird.
An interesting reaction.
Just weird, yeah.
Okay, so these spooky tendril things are the closest thing to an answer I have discovered so far in this week and a half I've been here, and I don't want that to go away. So I'm gonna try to. I really, really want it to stay, and because I really, really, really want it to stay, I'm gonna say that like that deep desire like sparks the magic, even though I don't intentionally use magic, because I have no idea that I can do magic. So with that really deep desire that I do not want this to go away, because I want to learn more, I'm going to try to use magic to trap a specific person, minion, or monster, and I want it to be the thing.
Yeah, I like that, and I like the idea of like that kind of instinctual. I like to imagine like some of your perhaps magic that you used before was driven by like, oh man, like I wish I knew what she actually saw, or like I wish I could feel what was going on out there. And now you're like,
oh no, I don't care about that anymore. I want to learn more about the creepy things in my head.
I was saying like before, like I like the idea of like your magic, like when you use it being like you almost wish something would happen and then it happens.
Oh yeah.
How you read her memory earlier was like, oh
yeah.
I wish
That's how I'm playing this, since I do not know that I can do magic, and I don't know that I have this ability. It comes from me really, really wanting something.
Yeah.
So I
what
roll
specifically are you?
To trap a specific person, minion, or monster. That's like the thing for my list.
Is this on the special moves or the magic moves?
It's on use magic.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah, and then
yeah. Okay, go ahead and roll for that.
10.
Damn.
Alrighty, yeah, use your effect. So.
Was that what I wanted? Oh yeah. I want to trap it.
Sounds good. Awesome. So I'd say that like as these tendrils are retreating back, you kind of reach out and you're like, I don't want this to go. And one of those tendrils specifically like starts tugging it's stuck.
Yeah.
The rest of the tendrils are retreating.
Multiple things. That's horrifying.
To, like back up into the woods, like disappearing into the shadows with it.
And for a bit of flavor, the way I want it to look, if that's okay, is that I want there to be like blue ethereal light that kind of just swirls around her hands, and then similarly like a blue ethereal light kind of swims around the little monster, kind of trapped, like keeping it in place, and that's what's happening.
I like it. So yeah, that blue energy kind of wraps around and is almost like wraps onto it and anchored it. As the rest of the tendrils kind of retreat, like almost like stretching and drawing back from this one that you have held. And then, Jennifer, what are you doing in the midst of all this?
Well, see a giant sword, her using magic, so I don't really care anymore. I use magic and I'm concerned about Martha. I'm gonna try using magic to
I want to know.
evict a spirit or curse from the person, object, or place. So I'm going to try. She is acting very strange from what I recall from a week ago when I first met her. And clearly seems possessed by whatever the heck this is. So I'm going to try to get that spirit or whatever the heck it is out of her.
Okay. For with just use magic?
I'm just using just magic.
It's one of the effect options. Yeah.
Does she get the +1 for me giving it to her earlier for this? From my strike being 11 or 12?
I think you can. I'm trying to see because, like, I'm trying to remember like specific rules because Monster of the Week is like laid out weird with like use magic is a role that technically everyone has. However, not everyone necessarily has magic in that same way.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
I think there is some magic that you could do. I don't know that it makes a lot of sense with your character build for you to use magic to the same extent that, say, Em is able to use it.
Because you're a werewolf, right?
Where, like, maybe if there was like magical items that could be potentially be interacted with, yes.
My dog
to say that I don't think that would make a ton of sense unless you have a way of justifying like magic.
I think you're a werewolf.
She just immediately jump into that.
I think you're a werewolf. I'm just saying that's my suspicion.
She actually? Okay, I was like...
I don't know, but that's what I think.
Dude, if she's like a were-hog, I'm gonna be really...
She's the were-squirrel.
Like Catherine's after a giant squirrel.
There's gonna be more than one squirrel in the forest.
is there definitely at least one werewolf here? Is that why we're accusing people? Or
No, I just think she's a werewolf.
There is no confirmed
No, that's
werewolf.
just her hunt.
No, I just think she's been acting weird, and I think she's a werewolf.
Alright.
okay.
Em has not said this in the game.
She like froze it basically in the spot.
It's like a piece of it.
I'm going to just like tackle Martha.
Okay.
And then I'll call out to Im and be like, can you do anything to help her? Or something like that. Like, I'm holding her down. Can you, like, make her the way she used to be when we first met her?
Actually, real quick, the whole thing is
Let's
frozen,
possess.
right? It's just one tendril got frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one tendril is almost like, and it's not even completely frozen. It's just like anchored, and
So
like
you're more
there's,
like
it's
diving
definitely pulling
into
back.
active
Okay, I
tendril
just
territory to
Yeah,
get
Mark-
her. I'm just
Mars is still in the midst, yeah, of all those tendrils. However, if you would like to, yeah, you can try to roll protect someone, and like try to grab her. But she is like stepping back into those tendrils. So if you're gonna do something, like now's the time to do it.
we need
Can I try to like protect her then? Because I don't want her to get taken into by the tendrils.
Okay.
Bailey's against
Oh,
this.
just like my campers are dying.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah, we're all
I don't trust this Martha bitch. I think she's.
Oh yeah, no, she's definitely possessed.
I'm asleep. Don't worry about me.
Maybe Bailee is like the person that can take the spirit out of her.
With
Go back over the campaign, Bailee. We need an exorcism.
Yeah, we can exorcism. You do
Miss
it.
Bailey, we need some help.
take a breath,
in
get a
college?
sticker.
Be like, Martha, point to how you feel right now. Oh, yeah. Shy? Is it shy? Scared? Possessed?
I love how you're in your little like preschool corner as the camp counselor.
Yeah, I felt it relevant.
Yeah.
It feels right. It feels fitting.
Feels good.
Yeah, you want to roll to protect someone?
Yeah. And by protecting her, I guess preventing her to be taken by the tendrils
Yeah,
would
I
be
like it. I like
her
it.
form of protection. I
Yeah.
rolled an 11, but I get like a plus if I'm not. That's tough.
And you get a +1 from me.
Yeah.
How do I get plus 1 from you?
He rolled really well, and he was able to give you a.
and give you a bonus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Instead
so-
of hitting them harder. Yeah.
So it's like a
Be, like-
14 then.
Yeah, so it'd be like good. Like I mean, at this point, like as long as it's over 10, like it's a solid success.
Oh, it's success. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Let me check if
My head is killing me, which I guess is fitting for the character.
Okay, I don't think you could like save the forward. So I'll just say like yeah, you just do it really well. Okay, so so you protect them okay, but you'll suffer some or all of the harm that they were going to get. And then you can also choose an extra, reducing harm. All impending danger is now on you. You inflict harm on the enemy, or you hold the enemy back.
I'm gonna try to hold the enemy back. Don't know how.
All right. All right. Well, let's figure out what that means. So paint me the picture of like how you are trying to get Martha out of there. The shadows are creeping up around her. She's like stepping backwards with like an oddly blank look on her face.
Run up, punch her in the face, grab her butt.
I'm probably literally just like trying to grab her and take her the other direction. Yeah, like I was wrestling somebody earlier, so yeah, I probably would try to like just grab her and go.
Alright, so, okay, yeah, I like this. So, you kind of run up, you kind of grab her, like, kind of bodily, like she's not really resisting all that much, like when you slam into her, but you kind of grab her and go to, like, pull her away, and you realize that you chose, what, hold the enemy back? Yeah, I see. You feel those tendrils that were starting to, like, you realize now we're starting to wrap around her, have now started to wrap up around your legs. I'm gonna say that you are like you are basically getting trapped by this thing, and realizing you are trapped, you shove Martha forward. So she's out of its grip, but now you are in it.
Yeah.
Someone scream loud enough to wake up Ruben.
Yeah.
Come on.
If I scream, would it get back to camp?
I don't know, we're pretty far in, I think.
Yeah.
It took a long time for me to get to you guys.
I will tell you this, if you scream, I could, like, let them hear you. It's gonna take them at least a few minutes to get out here. So, like, the immediate danger...
I mean, I was gonna scream anyways. Not necessarily to alert anyone, but for my role-playing thing.
I was just gonna scream it. Because I'm terrified.
I was gonna start yelling, like, from a traditional haka. Except not taking time to do the whole dance. But just to try and, like, intimidate this thing. Because I now see that daggum Jennifer got herself got by the things from my nightmares, my literal nightmares. Quick question, though, before I yell. Is Martha about to just walk her ass back into this shadow stuff when she got pushed out? Or does she look like she's come to?
Yeah.
I think she doesn't look
No,
like she's
that bitch is involved in this.
I say she doesn't look like she's come to, but she's also not immediately doing anything. I'd say it's almost like, as you're watching this, it almost seemed like whatever this was luring her in and maybe controlling her to a certain extent, but its attention is now on someone else. So whatever it was doing to Martha's not really a problem right now. If something was controlling her, it's got other things on its mind. So she's just sort of there, not running, but also not, like, running back into it. Maybe a little dazed, if anything.
Okay. Quick perception question. I might not be sharp. I'm not sharp. Not really. I'm not that sharp to catch this. But when I swung, and slash just the way that these tendrils are acting when it comes to me, does it seem like they're... Actually, I'm not bad. I've got plus one sharp. Does it look like they're really coming for my ass or for my sword specifically?
I'd say, considering, like, how you've seen it and the fact that, like, it's also been reaching out to, like, grab it like the others there, it does not seem particularly lured to your sword. It just seems like it's reaching out towards whoever's there. Like, blindly grabbing it. Presumably, like, the people seems to be what it's dragging in.
Okay. Dang, Calmet. Jennifer's caught now?
I have no idea how to get her out.
I do, but... oh my... I know Sara told us not to kill ourselves this quickly.
You should try to flee.
We can't flee.
I know, but now that she's caught,
she's trapped.
I was gonna cut my losses if Jennifer's like, we gotta go, like, we can't save Martha anymore. I was gonna let them drag me away while being like, my knightly oath. But now I'm like, heck, my knightly oath. I'm confused. But
You've got to find the weakness of the monster. They all have, like, a certain weapon or a certain thing that is their weakness.
Yeah, we're probably not gonna.
But we have no idea how to
well,
figure
my
it out.
thought was, like, I could try
Has
and
everyone tried their weapon?
Yeah, you did. When you did
weapon
attack with the weapon, it did do something. Like, it reacted.
It didn't like it.
It recoalesced. Like, you sliced it into it, but it recoalesced. But as it recoalesced, it, like, drew back. So you attacking it, like, you're not useless.
Yeah,
I would say that, like, from that response, you could, like, hacking at it might be enough to get her away. Although
I was thinking about action economy, because I was like, if I help her, if I hack at it to try and, like, free her, is it then just gonna grab me, and then it's just gonna be like a roulette of, like, it grabs people in a circle as we're like, I help them free, and it's like, I get grabbed, and then it's like, they help me free, and then they get grabbed. Because I'm either gonna help and then get my ass grabbed, or I was gonna effectively help, but hopefully, like, do it in such a way that they can't help me back, so they don't sacrifice themselves trying to save me.
We do it until our least favorite person is stuck, and then run and, like, leave that person.
And I think that's me.
That's fair. I don't like you. Okay.
Feels bad. We eat chicken nuggets the same. Okay, but yeah, I'm gonna do my haka like yell. It's like oh, and then I'm gonna charge
The thigh slaps.
hacker free with the sword.
All right,
I'll like rolling her eyes while she's watching this. She's like, God damn it, why is it this guy?
I mean, you did say you needed help. That was your ploy. That was your ploy initially.
Roll to kick ass.
Yeah.
Not as good this time. That is 5 plus 2. That's a 7.
Yeah, you inflict harm. The amount of harm is So yeah, okay. So what'll have happen is you come in and you swing, and I'd say maybe you charge in a bit so as to get at the base of wherever, like trying to like hit it in such a way that perhaps getting it there will cause it to release Jennifer. And it hits, and I would say that it does. Like you do some damage. The damage is enough to cause it to react. The thing seems very reactive. If you hit it, it tends to like roll back in.
Like an amoeba.
And in that process of drawing back in, Jennifer is released, and if you want to like stumble forward a little bit to start to get away, you can. But then that lashing back out, a tentacle comes and like slaps across you and like hits you, and I'm gonna say basically like slams across you, knocks you back a little bit, and drags across you for I'll do this 1 harm.
Okay.
Watching this go
How does
down
armor work? Because I have armor.
Ooh, you do have armor. So,
armor.
what is your armor?
It is 2 armor.
2 armor. Okay, cool.
I have a trait called Invincible.
Yeah, so you don't take damage from it. So basically, if something is to damage
Nice.
you, it has to do at least 3 harm.
Oof, that's nice.
It gets absorbed by your armor.
That's really powerful.
So yeah, so you want
Just the shirt. It's the cut up shirt is my armor, or if my grandma left me armor, I can wear it under the clothes.
It's not. I will say this: it's not physical armor.
Okay, cool.
The way that
I
would
like
take
that
it
better
over.
than
Okay, watch. Really tough. So this
It's
thing like
not.
slaps across you. Actually, yeah. And I guess it doesn't really matter exactly how my harm it would have done, because I won't have it do more than 2 harm. But I might have to do more later, because I'm trying to remember how much I set it as. But anyways, all that to say, it slams into you. You go flying back. You are knocked down a bit, and you're like, ooh, that should hurt. But like, surprisingly, it doesn't hurt as much as it should. And I think you kind of have that like a bit of recognition of like that was a solid hit.
Yeah.
And like you should be more winded. You should feel more bruised. You feel like you did hit something, like you feel it, but like you did not like take as much damage as you realized you should have. Right.
I have a moment where I think about my grandmother's stories, and I wonder maybe it's that. And then I also remember eating all those chicken nuggets and all the commercials I've seen about chicken nuggets. And I'm like, maybe it was that. But I don't have time to figure out which.
Yeah.
So watching like this thing like snag Jennifer and attack this idiot. I'm gonna have like a moment of like worrying. I really want to keep this like peace because I really want to know what's going on like with me specifically. I really don't care about you. But also like I care about the fact that you're alive, but I really don't want you to die. I guess this is like a horrifying experience and it's very weird. I'm going to like kind of look at the tendril that I have captured and be like, okay, fine, I'm going to turn towards like the bigger swirling ass, and I'm going to try to use magic, like drop that, use magic to, I don't really know if far or evict works, because like definition-wise, they're somewhat, like, evict means go away, but I don't know if, like, evict means, like, I want it to leave, like, if I could, like, exorcise it, like, banish it from this plane or this world. Like, I don't want to say evict, and then it's just like, oh, I'm not here in this spot of ground anymore, I'm just gonna, like, circle around, and I'm still a threat. Like, I want it to go away. not be
Yeah.
able to get to us.
I'm gonna say because magic is kind of like a weird and like I probably should be like do more reading on like how specifically the magic works. There are sometimes certain requirements, so maybe I'd say something like if you wanted to like exercise someone or something, or like that might require a bit more understanding and a bit more research to understand what you're fully doing. Right now, especially, you're kind of in a very like reactive state. Say like if you wanted to like this thing to get away and back off, let me see if you have something that could be you have a move that lets you use your magic as an attack.
Yeah, but I don't want to attack it. I just want it to go.
Yeah, she likes
you just want to go?
That's her friend.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think I know how this can work out. Go ahead. Roll the use magic.
Jennifer, you're grabbing Martha, right?
10.
And then, okay, awesome. So yeah, so I'd say that will work. So you kind of like push out and you just like have this feeling of like you go and push away. And this thing, I think between you guys like having slapped at it, you know, getting hit by that sword, encountering a lot of resistance, when perhaps it wasn't expecting resistance, at least like gauging by like how Martha had been like standing there. The way that you had been able to interact with the tendril and like hold it there for a little while and keep it still, and then finally this push of just like energy of Lee pushing forward, surging out. This thing like very rapidly like pulls away and like retreats from the area and is gone, at least for the moment.
Bullshit, it's not gone. Run for Bailee's cabin.
And you're now standing there in the moonlight, in the edge of the edge of these woods here. Martha, kind of on the ground, looking like a little dazed and a little weird, like, what?
Knock her out before she can lead us astray again.
Do you knock her out?
Okay, wait,
I'm not
question.
Yes.
Cop yelled like several minutes ago at this point, right?
Yeah.
When he
He
did
was like
his,
shouting his
would that have,
You at least have a really weird animal-ish kind of yell.
I'll say, yeah, because I think this will be more fun if you guys like have a chance to like respond to at the very least the aftermath of this.
Okay. I'll say that if that's the case, then yeah.
Yeah.
Ruben would have
maybe
waken up.
couldn't tell what it was, but you at the very least like thought you heard something. It was enough to like jerk you from your sleep. You sit up and realized.
Look
that, like,
over.
the other
Ruben's
bed's empty.
gone.
Yeah.
Ruben.
You're Ruben.
Or not Ruben. Excuse me. Pop is gone.
everyone is Ruben.
We are Ruben.
I'm
Ruben, yeah,
Ruben.
We should all-
the cop is gone, so he like hops down out of bed and is like, oh boy, where did he wander off to?
We should have all named ourselves after sandwiches.
Next time.
He's gonna go. Yeah, I guess he just heard like something startled him awake, and he doesn't really know what. Yeah. And then he looks and cop's not there. Like, well, and he hops down and he's gonna look around. He's gonna peek into the other side of the cabin.
Didn't even knock on the
gone.
curtain.
No, they're both gone. Mild panic. He's gonna run over. First thing he's gonna do is run over and grab his backpack,
And the chaplains, right?
and then run and bang on the door of Bailee's room.
Alright. Bailee, you wake up to a pounding sound. You glance up and you're glance at the clock, maybe like, I don't know.
All the kids are gone.
I'm realizing it. It's very late. Everyone should be sleeping. Yeah, he's yelling.
All the other kids disappeared.
Alright, I grab my walking stick. and
We're safe.
and my walkie-talkie
Oh shit! I wish
and
we all
open the door.
And I'm like,
We have to
I don't know where they're all at. No one's here. I heard something
What a
Something-
snitch!
Drove me awake. I'm gonna go try and find him,
Okay,
and I
let's-
run out the door.
Yeah, let's go. All right, I'm coming.
Brings the child.
Where do you go running out the door?
Out into the middle of camp because I have no idea where that sound came from. I'm just like looking around. Where?
They just like
Where? Can I?
kind of
Can I try and investigate to see like where they went?
so you could we can try to make this work with an investigative mystery.
Okay.
Technically, a haka is more than just a single war cry. If I hadn't gotten all the air knocked out of me, I would keep doing it.
Well, I
Are
rolled
you
a
saying you
10.
would still be hearing it right now?
I would have if he
Yeah,
hadn't
knocked
got
out of you pretty
if he hadn't
solid,
got
like-
blasted in the lung. I rolled a 10.
Okay, nice. So you can ask 2 questions.
I'm actually good at that one.
Bam.
So that was investigative mystery.
Yeah.
Where did it go? Meaning
Okay,
them.
That seems like it'd probably be the.
What is that weird sound?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it in the?
It's in the call. Am I turning into M? Do I hear?
Coming
weird
from
things
Jake.
Yeah.
Way to go, Jake.
Every now and again, something's activating your mic, Jake. Because I was noticing whenever it would.
Oh yeah, the
thing,
green
whenever
outline.
the green outline would come up around you. It sounds like a AC noise, like a weird hum or fan or something.
Yeah.
It's not doing it now.
Yeah.
I know a motorcycle just went by, but they might
It
be
happened a
nice.
couple times.
Yeah, it happened a couple
I'm in
times.
downtown,
Like,
so.
yeah, it might have been just his mic got triggered and the background hum came over the mic.
Yeah, it seems okay now.
Yeah, it just did it like once.
Yeah.
I think all it is
Mine
your
is-
Jake. I think your voice detection threshold is just a little too low.
Yeah.
I think that's all it is.
Doo,
But yeah.
doo,
So yeah, where did it go?
There you
That's
go.
gonna be my
I like
first
that. I like
point.
So I'd say you kind of like look around. You look around the cabin. You kind of look off. You don't see anybody like over in the main part of, like I guess like the center of the camp would be near where like the dining pavilion is and the cabin. I'll say there's like a porch light on the cabin, so that immediate area is illuminated slightly, but you can't like make out anybody over there. What you
I'm gonna-
do see.
Oh, I was gonna say I want to pull a flashlight out of my backpack.
Okay, yeah. You start shining a flashlight around, and as you do, you see, I'll just say, like, the classic, you manage to find some footprints. Like, you know what to look for. Maybe, you know, one of these years you took a tracking course. But I'll say that, you know, you're able to see the footprints, like, kind of leading. Would you see, like, a number of them? Some of which just, like, look like they go straight up into the woods. Some of which look like they follow along the hiking path. But you could probably, with that roll, track them down either one of those directions.
Yeah, I'm gonna go running down the path.
All right, you start heading down the path. Are you following Bailee, or are you sticking around?
Yeah, trying to.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not
got this.
particularly waiting. I'm just kind of bolting.
Yeah, you see Ruben
Yeah,
bolt,
no,
and
you
you
do your thing. I'm coming.
Yeah.
Ruben is
Yeah.
the unstoppable of Camp Camp Clearwater.
Yeah. So you guys start running. I
Let's
want to
go.
ask what y'all are doing at like in this immediate aftermath, probably before they get there, because you do probably have like another moment before they all get there. So
I'm probably trying to get us to climb up the cliff, like to get back up from where we scrabbled down and drag Martha.
Question: do I get another thing from my roll of a 10? I don't know if there's anything else that makes sense.
yeah, there can. I'll let you if you'd like, because you did roll like high enough.
should
there's not
ask
really
what
anything
can
else
hurt
there.
it.
I'm just trying to figure out where they went. Can I say like what was it going to do? Meaning like them? Because right now I'm just trying to find them.
Yeah, I'd say if you would like, since you already used the, like, where did it go, and that was probably supposed to you're able to, like, make out right now, like, what you're
Yeah.
trying to figure out. If you just
Sorry about that.
hold on to that for a few minutes,
Okay,
if you
I'll
have any
hold it
questions
then.
that come up in the process of getting to them, we'll let
Sweet.
it work there.
I'm very curious about the footprints running in. Don't go onto the path; they go into the woods. Yeah, I don't know if there's a question there, but yeah,
I don't know.
hold it,
Without
I guess.
following those tracks, you probably wouldn't.
Yeah,
because
I'm
if
not
you
gonna
wanna
know.
all of them.
Okay, yeah, I'll just hold for now in case there's anything
Okay.
along the way.
Cool. So yeah, so the rest of you at the clearing, Jennifer, Cobb, you said you're starting to scramble up, starting to bring Martha.
Yeah, well, at least I'm trying to ask Jennifer if she can help Martha up, and then I'm going to try and get him and be like, hey, we should probably head back to camp.
Yeah, I look up at him and I say, like, thank you, good job. And then I kind of see if Martha, she kind of looks like she's barely has any idea where she is. So I kind of like, hey, Martha, let's get you back into camp. And I kind of, I don't know, I can either try to see if I can help her up, like, is she able to stand?
Yeah,
carry her.
with some guidance, she's able to stand. Maybe like getting her up the cliff, you really gotta like hoist up a lot of that weight. She seems
Martha's fat.
She seems dazed,
Okay.
but with prodding, you're able to like get her to follow along, and like as things are happening, maybe she's starting to come to herself.
And did you know my grandma?
I don't even know who you are.
Sorry, it's a weird question, but what you did reminded me of some of the stories. Did you need help up this cliff?
I don't know what I did, and Em is just kind of like staring off into the distance, kind of staring at her hands, like, what the hell? Almost having an existential crisis. Not really responding.
I'm gonna pull a raft, and I'm gonna reach out and grab one of her hands, and just start like tugging her along as I start climbing up the cliff.
I'm just. Okay, well, I'll just follow, like, dazedly. Just like, what?
Bailey told me to look out for M.
So you guys come back up onto the main path, start following it back to camp. Probably watching the shadows closely to see if there's anything weird, but nothing immediately like noticing. It seems to be basically Jennifer and leading in various stages of days, Martha and M, as they start to head back to camp.
I put my cloak around Martha, by the way, so the sword is in full. Just have it strapped to my back now with the sheath, so I'm just like, yeah, cut up t-shirt and giant sword.
I like that. I like that visual of all of you kind of come in, looking a little bit roughed up. Some of you looking dazed. You have a straight up sword on your back. Yes.
As soon as we get back into the main part of camp, as soon as we exit the path, I kind of tug my hand out of Cop's.
Okay. Well, I will say before you get to the main part of camp, though, you about halfway there, that is at which point Ruben and Bailee.
Well, then at that point, I will tug my hand out of Cop's.
Yeah. So that's the scene that you come upon is them walking. Comp's got a straight up sword on his back, and you see and snapping her hand away.
I see Ruben, I'm like, Ruben, my man. I see Bailee, I'm like, oh shit.
What happened?
What are you guys doing out here? Where did you even get that? And I point at your sword.
I try to move my head slightly to the side to block view of the
No. And I go around behind you, and I'm looking at where did you get? You're talking about throwing pointy sticks. Where did you get that?
He's had it the whole time. I just look over and he's had it the whole time, Ruben. And I just kind of start walking, hey, could y'all help me take her back to her cabin?
What happened?
Nothing. She fell again.
Can I use my investigative mystery bonus thing for the what happened here?
Yeah.
Is my second thing.
Say things are limited by what is there and like.
Yeah,
what
I'm
makes
just
sense. You can't get
I'm
everything
gonna
that
say
we're
something
missing.
that
But yeah,
might help if it's useful.
yeah.
Martha wanted to show me something, and I promised that I would take care of her if she came out to show me this thing. And then I guess Jennifer and Em just wanted to look out for us. The sword's not important. It's just an antique that my grandma gave me. It's just a very sentimental
Friends,
value.
I don't want to be harsh. But I'm very disappointed in you guys.
I look
I'm
legitimately
sorry
sad.
if that comes off as rude, but what?
I want
I
to
look legitimately sad.
I want to try to see if I can manipulate Bailee.
Yeah.
I want to put
Okay.
I want to put the idea in her mind that this is perfectly normal and she shouldn't be worried. Like, yeah, this is a normal happenstance in camp. Because I'm panicking.
Bring it.
Yeah. Okay.
It
Yeah.
just
There are specific rules that let you do stuff with
I don't-
manipulating other players. So
Well,
go
fine.
ahead,
And roll.
roll to manipulate someone.
Oh god, what's that? Charm. Oh god, I forgot how to math. 8.
An 8. So let's see.
I think I have to like do something to right now to show that I mean it. Okay, so I'm gonna do something that Em would.
I was just gonna say, like, there are specifics, so like I like the idea of like doing something to prove. I will say that like in order to not overrule like a player's free will,
Damn, that's what I
you
want.
don't, like, I can't completely force you to.
I
Can
really,
you just convince her
So,
I
like,
have
do
a permission slip for the sword?
I really just want
With
to.
the magic being involved, yeah, I think there are ways of like we can work it out, but just that, like, you could theoretically resist. I don't want you to feel like we're gonna force your like.
No, I am going to control everybody's will.
But yeah, but I think since it
No,
is
I'm fine
magic,
being
that like accounts
manipulated.
for that. So go for it.
So I have to do something physical, right, to show that I mean it.
You have to do something, not necessarily physical. You just have to do something right now to show that you mean it. So maybe like that could be like an excuse, an explanation, perhaps with that pushing of your mind
Okay.
to try to make it make more sense.
I'm gonna try to like. Okay, I'm gonna do something that Em never does, just because like I'm panicking and I want to get out of here. And I want to get back to the main camp, and I'm gonna walk up and I'm going to participate. I'll be like, "Are you gonna take us back to our cabin now, Miss Bailee? Is the activity over?"
Man, this isn't even magic.
I guess so.
Thank you, Miss Bailee, for taking care of us. And I'm not even paying attention anymore.
So welcome. You just can't counselor. Alright, come on guys, let's go back. So wherever we were.
I'm gonna lean over
Yeah.
to Cop and be like, "What happened to her?" And I'm pointing at Martha. I'm like, "She looks like she's about to fall over." Is she okay?
I have an effect on women. No, I'm just kidding. Ruben, so here's what really happened. Well, Miss Bailey's distracted. I'm gonna tell her. I don't know if she'll believe me. There was a monster, like a legitimate monster, that tried to grab Bailee. Or not Bailee. Sorry, tried to grab Martha. And that's why I have the sword, and that's why Martha has my cloak on. I thought it was like like a date or maybe. But yeah, M's actually really cool. Like more cool than
Yeah.
before.
That's Renee reacting, not him.
Jennifer's pretty ballsy. But main thing is, I think we're gonna need all that stuff you found, and we're gonna have to explain to Miss Bailee somehow later.
What kind of thing did you? What was it?
I look around, scared it's gonna jump out at us or something and suck us all in. It was darkness, Ruben. It's like darkness with tentacles.
Ruben's eyes get really wide. He's like, wait, are you serious?
Yeah, this is way more beaver thing with Mike.
Because, I mean, it's been a long time, but like 2 years ago, I think I saw something like that.
I've been having nightmares about it.
What? Ooh.
One the night before.
Backstory.
They tried grabbing me in the forest, which is why I was up tonight. You know, we should tell Miss Bailee. But let's get back to camp first.
Oh,
She can let us use the bows and arrow. And maybe the golf cart. If there is a golf cart. If there's not,
convince her of that.
use the bus. With a bus, that's a weakness. Okay,
We've cracked the code.
We'll talk more about this back at the camp.
yeah, let's just all go take Miss Bailee's hands and walk with her back to camp. So she's flustered by our teamwork and doesn't ask any more questions till we're back at camp. We'll talk to her at the campfire. Ruben, you gotta do it first, buddy. You're the good camper. If I do, just wrench your hand away. I've already tried this more than once.
Sure. All right, sounds like a good plan. And so I go up and I take her hand.
Wait, whose hand are you taking?
Bailee.
Okay, I was like, excuse me?
That was who you told me.
But I went to
You're all
Ruben's hand.
manipulating.
Are we gonna do a reverse rap where Sam's character tries to grab Renee's character's hand and Renee snaps it away?
I could never. Raph would overcome me and I would just have to accept.
I'm assuming M has like one of Bailey's hands right now, and so I'm trying to get Ruben
Oh, yeah.
the other one, so we form this little daisy chain of people and just walk back. So Bailey's like walking in between like us, like what good children, and just overcome by her touching the hearts of these kids.
I'm just in my happy place. Like, I'm not even questioning why like all these weird kids have just banded together in love.
So I feel like I've been
It's
working
because
so
of
hard
you,
to
Miss
be a thing.
Bailey. Your positivity finally got to.
You're right. It really. I've always believed in the power of positivity, but here it is, plain as day.
Actually, I'll take
So glad
M's hand
Elizabeth is
probably.
playing the counselor here. This is great.
Damn, I'm actually gonna try and take your hand first, and if you snatch it away, then I'll take Ruben's hand.
Damn it, I can't because if I snatch it away, that'll ruin the illusion I've created.
That's right.
I'm just gonna glare at you.
You're all manipulating each other too.
I might be bad at charm, but I'm good at manipulation. Alright. Yeah, I think that's the plan, sir.
I'll head back to the cabin, head back to the main camp. I'm assuming you can drop Martha off at her cabin. As you guys get closer and closer to camp, like the day seems to be wearing off a bit. She seems a little bit confused, a little bit tired. I'm also like, yeah, I can get myself back to my cabin. She says it's kind of hard to take her over there. So if you'd like to just drop her off, you can.
I take the coat back as we drop her off. It's like,
It looks
but I
like
still have you, Martha.
I'm just like,
Yeah,
bye,
I've been
Rachel.
helping her, so like I'll drop her off and just let her know, like, hey, if you ever need anything, like, or someone to talk to, please let me know.
Dude,
Like, I'll see
Jennifer
you
with
tomorrow.
the Jennifer with the solid friendship. Look at that.
I like
Somebody in this
everybody,
group has to make friends, yeah.
And I give her a hug, and then tell her I'll see her in the morning.
Who are you hugging?
Martha.
Thank God.
I've been dragging like her whole like, unconscious body back this whole time.
With
While
her
y'all
massive
been having like
gun.
I didn't
this
even
fight.
notice.
She's not unconscious.
You're strong enough that I was like, it'll be fine.
I know she's not unconscious, but like out of it.
Okay. When we get to the fire pits, though, I'm gonna stop walking and let the kumbaya come to a halt just by matters of like hands being locked.
No.
Oh, like we're still holding hands. I'm just stopping our forward momentum.
What the?
Miss Bailee, we got attacked by a monster in the woods. I pull out my sword and I stick it in the ground. I slashed at it with the sword and it fled. And Em was really awesome. I can't explain what she did, but she kind of stopped it. And Jennifer like saved Martha. And yeah, I know I'm the crazy one, but like I've been having nightmares about this kind of thing, and that's why I've been acting so vigilant to protect us.
As soon as Cop starts talking, I just like drop the hands and just go and drop the act, and I drop talking in your mind.
Miss Bailee, I come from a long line of heroes. My grandma always told me, and she gave me this sword, and it's been following me around, and I think it's my destiny to defeat this evil. And I'm just looking at you fully earnest and big eyes, the most honest I've ever looked.
Top, dear, are you feeling okay?
I got hit by a tentacle earlier, but I'm feeling okay.
What happened to Cop, you guys? What happened while you were like on your hike?
Of the hit, by the way.
He's just being his same self, getting lost in a story.
Yeah, he just has a wild imagination.
What did it?
Top, I think we should maybe.
What did it look like?
It was like this murky blackness that reached out with tendrils that tried to grab onto Martha, and then tried to grab onto Jennifer, and then tried to grab onto me and hit me in the chest, and it knocked me into the cliffside. But I'm okay. I'm just really strong.
Did that happen? And I'm looking at the two of you, like Em and Jennifer.
I look over at
happen?
him, and I just kind of look at him and be like, what do you want to say, kind of thing.
I don't trust any of you.
All right.
Top, I think we should put you to bed now.
Sir, how reliable
Like,
is
take your
my
arm.
sword when it comes coming back after I've misplaced it?
You haven't like misplaced it yet per se.
Yeah.
So much as like tried to put it away somewhere else.
I have an idea.
It pretty rapidly shows back up to where like not like immediate, like you've never watched like, oh poop poop, you're like, here it is, but it's just like you think you put it one place, and then eventually like you come to look at another place and like, oh yep, there it is. So, like you don't see it pop into places, like that's what you're asking. It's like trying to like make it move right now.
Miss
But if you were to
Bailee,
lose it theoretically you could.
I can prove crazy stuff is happening. It will have to wait till morning, probably. But if you just come with me and I start running towards the lake. I pick the sword back up and I run to the lake.
It's still
Okay, I run after because I think he's a hazard to himself, so I'm trying to protect him.
as soon as she runs after him, I'm gonna like ask the two of you again, like, did that actually happen? Like now that Bailee is gone.
I look back over at him, and if she doesn't give me a response, I tell Ruben, like, yes, that actually happened. I was grabbed by some sort of tentacle.
Why didn't you say anything?
Let me tell y'all something.